Dine and dash.
Connor, what's that?
Only at the finest 5-star meals. Wow. What a cocksucker.
Get your hand off my penis.
He was a chess grandmaster? Oh, that makes it so much better. Oh. Okay, good story time.
Alright, time to load up.
The fun things you can do when you're older.
Oh, dude, the level of not giving a fuck.
What do you do to pass the weekend? Well, I go and get a free meal and then get arrested. Make a scene in the streets.
But I could just see this as the type of guy who's like waiting in line at the bank and he doesn't want to wait, so he just yells out, "I will not go into the alley and suck your penis, sir!" And the guy looks at him like super uncomfortable and just walks away, and he just gets to skip in line.
He's definitely playing the system. I bet you his house is like close to the close to his cell, you know, like it's gonna be released on the block. Just getting a free ride home.
Genius.
Hoo boy. Well, we're gonna have a couple of rolls to do here because you guys were quite busy last time. And despite all the talk, there is some cool stuff you started.
There definitely is.
Hey, were we talking about water before?
Water elevator and...
If Tidge ever pops back in
Which
before, Tidge.
Small Tidge? Big Tidge?
The
Blue
OG.
Tidge? Green Tidge?
How about orange Tidge?
If he ever comes back, I would be like, "Yo, can I borrow that endless water decanter?" And I would get like, if there's probably not any peasant boys, but I would.
Peasant boys? What? I tuned out and I just... What?
Connor's starting his ERP.
Just start pouring water. Just start pouring water. We need a lot of water.
Ashley, I have bad news for you. Connor might be into some weird shit.
Oh, I'm aware.
Remember the reading of the Australian
Oh
Dojin?
no. Oh no.
That was such a great evening.
That's pretty good.
Chuck it in me, Gash.
Giving me a gubby.
If Tidge doesn't come back, I'll start creating my own water. But other than that, that's about it.
He's
Okay.
coming back, you know he's coming back.
Who doesn't know that?
Just like he doesn't know that Tidge doesn't have the water decanter.
What?
I took the amulet instead.
Oh fuck! Who has it?
Doesn't one of the Catman Robotics guys had it, so they could use it in their shop.
That's right.
She...
Balls.
Yeah, had it all along.
Well,
Okay,
I think we'll
the
start
other
up here. Do-do-do-do-do. There we go, there we go. Welcome to another game of Skyfall 5e. It's good to have the whole gang here. I think we have everyone, right? Yeah. It's full. No, we're missing Daxon, who should be here, but who knows? He'll probably pop in a bit later. So, it's good to have you guys here. How was last night? Anything exciting happen? Nope. Anyone
today
buy a house
I was
this
alone
morning?
by myself. Again!
It's good. It's a good story.
It is not a good story. It's a terrible story.
How about the two Tidges? Did you guys get up to anything? Didn't see you the other day.
Nothing terribly exciting.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Well, we'll pick up where you guys left off. Having finished the session with a bit of constructing and the gathering of materials, some rolls were made and the rolls turned out rather well. However, we're going to begin with a few others to determine just how everything turned out. So the very first thing I want from you guys is a luck roll, please.
No.
Starting with a luck roll. Who's doing it?
Can you make it bigger? I feel like it's too small.
Yeah, get these. damn green dice out
That's
of the way.
good.
Hey, nothing wrong with my green dice.
Hashtag we hate green dice. Oh!
Now it's
eh,
definitely.
Oh, the green dice we delivered!
The little guidance die.
The little caltrop was like, you know what? Despite your hate, here you go.
You're the
It's
winner
so
today,
hot.
Green Caltrop. You're the bigger man.
So fucking high, bro.
So, you guys go and set about creating these materials, and it's just inside the camp in a sort of free space that you lay down all these timbers. And Mackinac, you take some of the larger trees and transform them into like incredibly sturdy beams that'll form the main working arm of the trebuchet, and other little supporting pieces here and there. And you fashion all these out, and before long you've got all the ingredients for your IKEA project, as well as some instructions that you've handed over. Now, the instructions are going to be based off the roll you got, which was a 20, and it looks like when you guys are standing about there, that the time sort of shifts, and you guys notice how the weather kind of changes a bit, and the pile of goods next to all of you appears to have vanished and is no longer there. And, I should also mention that, let's see here. With the exception of Dominic, who disappears, Arillo and Tidge rejoin the group. You guys are all bundled together, standing by in a random part of the camp. And there's a few different tents still around, and you see a couple of people, but the place feels kind of deserted.
Ruh-roh.
Hmm.
How far along are we with the trebuchet?
You guys had spent a couple of days getting all of the parts, and then you had left all the parts in a pile with the instructions handed over to Sir Bondax, and hopefully he'll be able to do something with them.
Okay, and you just said that not only does the camp feel empty, but the materials are gone?
Yes.
Okay, so time skip, and hopefully they didn't fuck it up, basically.
Perhaps they just moved closer.
Yeah, there are still some people here, though. Should ask and see what has happened. Bondax, are you still here?
When you call out, there's motion from one of the tents, and sure enough, out of his tent, you see Sir Bondax come out. He's not really set up in his armor or anything like that, but a look of surprise comes over his face as he runs over towards you all. Oh, you're all here. Good.
Yes, we see that some of the camp seems to be gone. How long have we been gone for?
It's been a while. He kind of like scratches at his temple for a moment, and he says, a few seasons at least.
Well, a few seasons.
He nods.
Oh, that's not good.
The guy looks kind of dazed, and while he's saying that there, another one of the tents opens up as though your group's talking has shattered some kind of silence throughout the camp, and an Inquisition member runs out and comes to approach you guys with a semi-panic about his face. And he says, What are you guys doing here?
We were making trebuchet.
He looks back and forth across you guys, and seeing your expressions, he turns back and he says, Today's the day. It's the day. You have to go.
What day? Go where?
The day.
The
or
day.
just-
All the other groups have already left.
I see.
If you can't get in and stop the ritual before this evening, then it's going to be up to one of the other groups.
How capable are they?
He shrugs his shoulders and he says, I've met with ours. I think they have a chance.
Are they in there? Are they attacking? Like right now?
They've already gone, yes.
Oh,
You have to go. You're the last ones.
Did we make any grounds on the trebuchet? Is Earl's looking around, mainly at Mackinac.
They finished that long time ago.
Did they take it with them, or?
He kind of like looks over, and Sir Bondex, suddenly kind of. Yes, we built it in the forest, just maybe an hour away from the fortress. It's all set up and ready to go. Here, I'll go get my armor on. And he turns around and runs back to the tent.
How late in the day is it?
Looks like it's somewhat early in the morning.
Great, so we have all day.
It is
I think
several hours away.
To save the world.
We're gonna have to get to it right away. Moving something that large isn't gonna be easy.
What's this something large? What's going on?
Well,
That's when you guys notice that Tidge is standing there with Arillo.
Oh, hi.
Hey.
Tidge.
Hi.
Mackinac designed an entire siege engine to take on the fort.
Well, that's fascinating. Where is it? It's probably the big thing.
Right, so it's about an hour away from the fortress, apparently.
Right.
Oh.
Now, this thing should be able to, if we have the right ammunition or if Sir Bondax found it, to assault the fort from well outside the battery's range. So what we're thinking is leaving someone behind, not necessarily from the party, having it fire roughly towards the center of the fort. If we can, the camp would be great. And hopefully assault the outer edge of the fort simultaneously.
What if we hit some other people that are already in there, trying to stop it?
It's a risk we'll have to take.
No,
Edgar looks
I-
dead serious.
That'd be so funny. Just like, sorry, Thursday group, one of you insta dies. To a 95 kilogram rock that falls from the sky.
You just hear from an hour away, "Woo! Werewolf!"
Wow.
Oh, that'd be terrible. Goodbye, year-long campaign.
That's how my first
Hello,
character went.
Rock.
If you're in front of the trebuchet, that's your own fault.
We had to use the reaction, guys. It's not our fault. All right. Yeah. So I would look 100% serious when I say that.
Now, what are you guys doing in the camp? It seems like it's mostly deserted. And as you guys are here, you can see that the two knights are quickly preparing themselves and donning their armor, but you guys know from experience this will take a few minutes. Are you guys doing anything?
Is Jem's two guys here? You said he was leaving behind two guys.
His
Three
tents
guys.
appear to be silent,
Or
but you
two.
don't know if they're empty or not.
I'll approach one
Okay,
and just start peeking my head in the tents.
sure. When you poke your head into one of the tents, it's empty, then the next, and then the third one, you see one of the robed figures there, who looks and turns towards you. He's just kind of seated cross-legged at the back end and looks up.
Hi there.
Just stares at you blankly.
Any word from Jem? We've been gone for a while.
He gives you a nod and kind of crawls out of the tent. Standing next to you, he points off in the forest and he says, "That way."
Thank you.
He gives you a
That's it?
nod. He's with your machine, and he kind of like moves back into the little tent there.
I just say, I turn back to him and I say, good luck, and I'll walk away.
Okay. You guys rejoin the group there.
Jem's already there too. If there's nothing else we can take here, I suppose we should get rolling.
Is there still lights coming out of that one tent?
No, not at all, it seems.
Can I go peek in it?
Sure, yeah, you could do that.
Do you have the hunter killer with us, by the way?
Harold is near, yeah.
Nice.
You guys make your way over, or sorry, Colcoat, you get over towards the tent. And when you come up towards it, what do you want to do?
I just want to like peek my head and see what's inside, or if anything's still inside.
Okay. When you place your hand upon the lip of the tent there and go to like motion open the door, you suddenly hear an alarm noise, and it's just like a loud beeping that rings out.
I run away and hide behind something.
You see, this has attracted some attention. You watch as one of the knights like kind of runs over to your group. He's got his helmet in hand, the rest of his armor is on, and he's looking over at the tent that's constantly beeping. The sound getting gradually more and more silent.
I think a butterfly tried to fly in or something.
God damn it.
So the two knights are standing there, and Sir Bondex looks over, and he kind of motions towards the other knight, and he says, "This is Sir Harrington. We're ready whenever you guys are. Shall we go?"
I suppose so.
It's 3 hours march this way. All right, let's be going then.
Let's take off.
Lead the way.
Oh, can I set my spells differently if we time skip?
Yeah, I was gonna ask. We probably haven't had a long rest, have we?
No, you have not.
What? You're fucking broken, man.
What?
What?
Huh?
What?
What? You guys make your way through the forest. It takes a couple of hours, and as you guys are approaching, the amount of time that it takes for you to get there seems like abnormally long, knowing that this is the day. But eventually, you emerge into a small clearing, and there, in front of all of you, lies the siege engine that Mackinac had envisioned, or at least something close to it. Now, I'm gonna roll, and I'm gonna add Sir Bondax's intelligence modifier to it.
By the way, while we were moving, could I have grabbed the Guardian of Nature scroll?
Oh, sure. Yeah, who's holding the scrolls, by the way?
I don't know.
Just left them on the ground.
Dimension door. We pass to the welcome cat.
Oh,
And-
okay. I'll write that down. I have the scroll now.
Fireball. Anyone?
I'd take it.
I hand it to you.
All right. While you were explaining the plan, no doubt.
Okay.
In the 3-hour turn.
In the clearing, there it lies, Mackinac. As if assembled by a workforce that didn't completely understand your genius, but was able to get it to at least a functioning level, there lies a large trebuchet. It rises tall enough that the very height of it just falls short of the tallest trees, and the long arm behind it trails down and has a large leather sack behind it with a set of complicated rope pulleys that look like they're probably in the right place, but you can't be sure just at first glance. Either way, whether it works or not, the sight of the thing is certainly marvelous, and it is easily the largest and most powerful siege engine that you guys have ever constructed, if this thing does actually turn out to work. Nearby, in a pile, you guys see what looks to be some rocks that have been put nearby, and none of them are the massive boulders that you guys had hoped. Instead, it looks like somebody has gone through the forest and collected rocks that are maybe the size of like a ball that like children would kick around and play with for games, that sort of thing, but nothing like the big gigantic stones that this thing could probably handle.
Oh, idiot.
I'll walk up and start inspecting the trebuchet and see if there's anything wrong with it or if it, ended
Sure.
up actually working out.
As you guys step over towards it, there's a brief, poof of black smoke next to you all. And Jem appears with a group of the 3 associates that are to be joining you. And he says, My, it's good to see you all again.
Should have been purple smoke.
What do we know about what do we know about the other group's progress so far, Jem?
Ah, yes, they've gone already. One by secret passage that the Inquisition will not say, and the other, well, I have their word that they intend to attack from the skies. They're probably already there, making their move.
Okay, so we should be clear to at least launch a volley or 2 from that trebuchet.
You certainly could, though I would warn against hitting the main building. I do believe that's where they've landed.
Mackinac, how accurate do you think you could make this? I mean, if I was hoping we might be able to put multiple rocks, but that might give a scattering effect. Then again, it could be less damaging to buildings and more damaging to people.
Make for me an investigation roll, please, Mackinac, as you look over the machine to see if it's functioning properly and how its properties line up.
Aim high, Willis.
Oh!
We need that. Good omens. Good omens.
No, this is the only 20 you guys get tonight.
It's a nat 20 plus 4.
Plus 4? Okay. Looking at this thing, you can see all of the mistakes that were made, even ones that would otherwise remain concealed. Most of the ropes are set up correctly, but some of them aren't quite as tense as they need to be. You can see areas that need to be adjusted, winches that need to kind of be pulled down a bit more tight, and other pieces, other planks that actually may have been placed in the wrong spot, and removing a couple of nails, and with maybe 30 minutes of work, you could swap them out for the proper pieces and get this thing functioning. As far as how accurate this thing is, it's tough to tell exactly. It'll depend largely on what it is that you're firing through the thing. So if you have a perfectly round sphere hurtling through the sky, that's probably going to do better than an oblong shape. Given the rocks that you've got here, it looks like you could load quite a few of them in a scatter effect, but there won't be very much as far as aim for where it'll land on the fortress. You've already done some calculations, which were all set in stone the previous time before you had time-lapse, and you had hoped to get it down so that you could choose individual parts, and that may indeed be true, but with the scattering of all the rocks, it'll be tough to say exactly where they'll land. Practically speaking, you can pretty much choose an area on here that's 3 tiles across, and one of the tiles will probably take a bunch of damage with some of the others getting some. So you're looking at... That's kind of the scatter. So you pick one, and it could end up anywhere within there. If that makes sense.
Could we launch shit that's on fire?
Shit that's on fire? Absolutely. So
That's the technical term.
yeah.
Yes.
Send the fiery shit. The back end of the trebuchet
Fireball.
has a treated leather sack that holds whatever ammunition is to be tossed, and it looks like it's quite thick. It's like, maybe like 2-inch leather kind of thing. So you could put all sorts of stuff in there. You could even, put people in it if you wanted.
Could this thing launch?
Dead bodies.
Like Harold has the problem of, fly to a certain extent can be kind of slow. Would this thing, if Harold had fly on him, maybe propel him a bit faster?
Yeah.
Well, wasn't his issue only when he had people on him? He was normal speed without people, right?
Yeah, he's normal speed without people.
I mean, could we launch with Harold and then just have him use fly to slow us down so we don't all crash?
You could certainly try, though at the moment, you've only tested Harold for 2 people.
TPK.
Let's all grab a leg.
All slam into the building.
Thursday group starts their session. It's just 6 dead bodies rained down upon them. They all just splat against the concrete there.
Wait, we get some like big, strong people. Like, how many people can you get with fly?
I've done as big as Arillo myself, I think.
Well,
Yeah.
like, but like when we cast, I guess I can look it up. Let me look it up.
Well,
You're
while
also
we're
missing
planning
Dominic,
here-
who has one of the fly spells.
Oh, that's true.
Ah, fuck.
While we're planning here,
Damn.
Christian, I'll go through the preparations to kind of swap the parts and make the adjustments.
Okay, so you get right to it and start fixing the thing up. You can make a another blacksmith roll.
Can I help him out and like climb up when there's like parts to fix up top?
You can roll as well.
Ooh,
Very
I'll
nice.
just roll an assistant.
26.
Okay. Looks like a 14, more or less.
You want me to add anything to it, or just my assistance, or like
Your blacksmithing or carpentry if you have it.
I don't have either one.
Okay.
I'm just doing what he tells me to as I like climb up the things of reach.
Okay. You
I will
guys
say
set to
this one-
fixing this.
Once I finish making the adjustments and everything, as a final step, I will engrave the symbol of Titan onto the armor of the trebuchet.
Ooh, good idea. And Metri
Final
too.
little touch there.
I'll graffiti Metri if he doesn't do it. No, I won't. No, I won't do that.
Throw some dice in it on there too, you know,
Okay.
just for good measure.
Are you a cleric, perchance? You are, aren't you, Macknar?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I would say that this would be an appropriate time for you to make a religion roll.
Big dick plays.
Right. Oh, great uncaring one.
Oh no no no!
Shit, I jinxed it.
Damn it. What is that? That's like a with a guidance. That's a 5.
What?
Okay, never mind.
Yep. Had the opportunity, I blew it.
Feels bad, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm gonna pray to Metri, but I'm not gonna be able to ever imbue a trebuchet. But Edgar would definitely pre-fight pray to Metri.
Okay. Now, these repairs are going to take some time, and over the course of the next half an hour or so, as Mackinac and Coldcoat go up and down the machine here setting it up, what are you guys doing?
So, Mackinac, I do not have your... Oh, hey!
He's here.
Hey.
Dominic
Never
appears
fear.
next to you all.
Jackson is here.
When you join the group, Dominic, you find that they are in a very small clearing with a bunch of chopped down trees nearby, just like all these stumps. And there is a large trebuchet in front of you that is being fixed up by Mackinac and Coldcoat.
Oh.
I missed the hard part. I love it. Ah,
Well,
beautiful.
it is the day.
It
Just...
is-
It...
Oh.
The...
Alright, well. Thank you for the update, Earl. You just made me go from joyous to very nervous.
Right,
Great.
but we got all day.
Oh. We have all day. Wait, it's the eclipse today? Is that what you're saying? It is?
Yes. That exactly. Mackinac,
Titan, have mercy.
Yes.
I do not have your expertise at forging weapons, but I was curious if you could forge a dart or two out of this here dragon spine. I grabbed it, but you were missing for a great deal during our travels in Vosnox. If you feel it'd take too long, then we can ignore it as well.
I will finish my repairs in the trebuchet and then take a look.
Wonderful. So, the rest of you, do we have any plan of attack after we launch this trebuchet?
Kill things.
Well, we're actually hoping to be right next to the fort when it's launched.
Alright.
Hey, Bondex, how far from the fort now are we? walking over.
An hour away. It's a considerable walk, but I think that this machine will handle it.
Well, is there anything around here that might be better to launch than just all these little ones? Maybe they just weren't strong enough to bring them back. I think we've got the muscle.
You could certainly look through the area. Might find something a bit more substantial. We spent days looking around and couldn't really find much.
I would warn you against your usual curiosity here at Colcoat. There's a monster in these woods, and splitting up is the last thing we need to do.
I'll curiously look over at Mackinac and just wait. Say the tree stumps are fairly hefty, are they not? But we want something to impact with a slight bit more force, correct?
I have an idea. Why don't we make a giant dart out of the tree stump?
I like that idea, and personally, I think Mackinac might be able to fashion it, especially if it's coated in iron.
What?
Most certainly something his god might give us access.
You're gonna fling an iron tree stump?
Yes. An iron-coated tree stump using his channel divinity.
I don't know the logistics of this, but I am completely in.
He heard dart. That's all he needed to hear. So... Huh?
If Mackinac could channel divinity, because it's like the amount of iron to coat a tree stump would be less
Well,
than
I mean,
100
what about
gold.
just a tip?
Even just that, just something.
I mean,
Just
not
make-
even that. Just like give it like fins and a point, and like the rest of it is just bulk, just mass.
Yeah. But like literally just give it a thin covering just of iron, literally just to give it extra mass and durability.
Would you say a condom?
Yes, one might indeed say a condom of iron, with the bubbly point and all.
Hashtag.
Sir,
just
they're
the
firing iron knobs at us!
Really the most terrifying
It's like
weapon
that
ever
scene
created.
from Austin Powers where they're just seeing the dick up in the sky.
Johnson, get on the phone. There's a giant wang!
Shit. I'm gonna let you do your crazy thing.
Well, do we have enough metal to even coat this thing? Or does Mackinac have a trick up on his sleeve?
I did bring a large number of scrap metal with me.
Might be better to just forge it onto the rocks themselves.
Edgar, I think the point is to make it a little bit more durable for the wood. The rocks are already durable.
What if you just melt all the iron in between the rocks to make a big iron rock ball?
Now you're thinking.
It's like the Rice Krispie square of death.
God damn it. Oh. We're increasing in volume, boys. Volume and pitch.
Crank that shit up. Well, it's up to you guys what you want to use. There's clearly a imperfect set of materials, but you may be able to fashion something useful. I will say that as far as what can be shot out, you know, the trebuchet's capacity is pretty good. You could fire, you know, Herald and multiple people in it if you wanted, kind of thing. Like it's able to launch quite a bit, and you would know that the counterweight on the other side there, Mackinac, is perfectly suited to firing over like really long ranges with almost anything. So it's just up to you guys what you want to throw in there and what you want to do.
I really like the Rice Krispie. I don't know if it's feasible, but because something like that will not only hit, but the iron might bind it together and have a rolling effect. You know what I mean? And if we're firing it from like this angle, let's say.
Well, if not a roll, it will shatter and shoot out everywhere. Put it in the middle of the camp.
Yeah, there
That could
could
be
be
good
some
too.
shrapnel as well.
I
Light it on
thought
fire.
we were going to avoid the middle of the camp because we didn't want to squish the people that were already there.
Just
That's a
I
risk we're gonna
trust
have to take.
Mackinac expertise. He will hit the camp. He will nail the camp dead center with his trebuchet. I would not question this one.
Alright, I'll respect it. Is there any way we can help work on this while you're still working on repairing this trebuchet, Mackinac?
I have 2. Oh no, I don't. I got rid of them when we traded out my swords. So we got maybe like, I don't remember. Do they? Thought process dead. Keep going. All right, perfect. I'll go back to it then. So do they have any like swords? Can we load some like really old shitty swords in there that nobody left behind?
Can I
Or
just turn
that
all the
everybody
swords
left
into
behind?
caltrops? We just rain caltrops on them? Just cover the entire fort in caltrops?
You could do that.
What would be the point of that?
Anytime they have to move, they're just like, God damn it, there's caltrops everywhere.
They
Well, we
either
also
have
can't-
speed or they take 1d4 of damage.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
but then we
couldn't
can't move
stand.
either.
And they have
Oh.
demons that can fly.
I mean, caltrops.
Or we could just load swords in there and then fire them, and hopefully it impales someone.
Just jam some swords sticking out of the iron rock ball.
Yes.
Yeah, but I feel like they would bend like a toothpick once it impacts something. It wouldn't
Unless
really-
it impacts someone.
I feel like the bludgeoning damage would be more than the.
Stabbing damage. Stabby stabby.
How heavy does Harold look?
No.
He looks like he's probably not as heavy as you'd expect, given that a lot of his form is like a wireframe, and it's like not completely filled in. But he
Did you
is a
say-
hulking creature.
A little over 500 pounds.
Maybe around there, yeah.
You know, levitate affects creatures 500 pounds. If we could launch Harold, and then he could have more of a smooth landing. If he wants a quick entry.
I don't understand the obsession with sending him in first. Why wouldn't he just come with us?
Surprise. I'm not saying he goes in first. I'm saying he comes in while we go in.
Right. It's a
Mark.
giant spider. And I can't do anything. No offense, Harold.
Yeah, but there's a consciousness
whoa,
inside
whoa.
that spider. We can't.
Harold is very powerful.
You see those legs there? He impales people and puts holes in their chests.
We
Also,
probably
he
fought
shoots
Harold.
giant spikes out of his insides too.
We had to battle Harold for nearly an hour when we first stumbled across him. We did not win. We exploded the place, nearly killed Coalcoat, and then we had to
I
seal
said
up.
I was sorry.
Well, sorry doesn't cut it when
Yes,
you barbecue our cat
Dominic
friend.
exploded a room
I said
while I was in the back of it.
I
It was
didn't know
fun.
you were. It was a rogue arrow. I'm sorry.
It's okay, my fur grew back. All is well.
Edgar looks at the watch that's not on his wrist, but doesn't exist. Wondering how long this conversation is gonna take.
Oh, I'd be like preparing while I'm talking.
Yeah, we're not just.
I just pictured you guys like next to a half-repaired trebuchet, just talking on and on.
Just sitting in a circle, having a quick little chit chat.
The day
Playing
of
patty
days.
cake.
The world's ending, no biggie. Let's just talk about it.
Regardless, we might need Harold to get us up there onto the actual fort.
True.
Harold can shave off one of the targets for our fly. If I'm doing the math correctly, we get 2 people on Harold, have fly on Harold, and then fly on 3 other people, which only leaves a couple more that'll lag behind. Unless we have a better means of getting up there all together.
Sounds like a good plan.
Holy shit.
Well, hold on. How many casts of Dimension Door do we have?
Oh shit.
We have 1 scroll.
We have 1 scroll, and then didn't somebody say they can cast it themselves?
Yes, I can.
So that's 4 people that we can get in.
I can as well.
We need
6
to be
people we can
careful.
get in?
We need to be careful in burning all our spells, though.
I mean, to be fair, we get our spells back on short rest, so get
Do you
in,
think-
quickly hide.
I don't
For
think
an
we're
hour?
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get a realistic short rest in an enemy fort.
That's true.
We will probably get a short rest after we slaughter all of them. But
Look, why don't we just launch some stuff and, I don't know, go and climb up the walls? We take out the siege weapons on one, then we can sneak up on another. They won't really be able to fight back until we get up top.
So here's the issue, Colcode, and your idea is sound if everyone were as talented as you when it came to stealth. Unfortunately, Barillo and I are, well, we tend to make imprints where we walk, and I think Mackinac might be the same. So maybe we just spend a moderate amount of magic for those who can't feasibly approach the fort undetected. The rest of you climb through, ordinary methods, using perhaps Gem and his companion's equipment. They might be able to lend a hand, or at least put in some anchors along the way and let them climb up first, and it'll make the climb a little bit easier for you. Once we're all up there, then the trebuchet will fire in the center of the fort towards the camp, and all hell breaks loose.
Wait, how'd the other guys get in, Gem?
He looks over at you and he says, well, the Inquisition won't tell me exactly how they've managed to get in, but the others, it seems they had some powerful magic with them.
But what about your guys? Didn't you say they can get in?
Yes.
Well, how did they do that? I mean, it's kind of the world's fate at hand. If we can get in some other way.
Well, the same way a thief burglars a house.
they just climb 60 feet walls, or
I look Jam dead in the face and say, we're not very good at burgling.
Yes, I understand.
No,
I do not
you don't
burgle, but
understand.
I think I
We
would
do
be good
not
at it.
burgle. We are very bad at burgling. Every attempt is gone completely south.
Annabelle, I thought you were a fine thief.
Tej, are we good at burgling?
I mean, that one time I think it worked alright for a while.
See,
and then
there
there
you
was
have
the
it.
whole leaving part.
Well, we need only get inside.
What?
You said the beginning
Oh
part
my
was
God.
fine. That's all we need. Look,
This guy.
I can't assist you necessarily in getting in stealthily. I'm just saying that me and my men can. And if you need something done, well, we can see about helping that way.
can they
So-
just sort of
I can't hear.
She just muted everyone.
Is it feasible, Gem, to have your men put lead anchors in for rope and help
Of
us
course.
assist in the climb? Okay.
We intend to use grappling hooks to get in.
Do you think you're going to be able to bring our group? I mean, I don't know if you have any magical means But do you think you can get our group close enough with just your resources alone, undetected?
It will depend on your own sneaking skill.
I shake my plate armor.
Ah,
Yeah.
that reminds me, I have brought something to aid you. Here, take this. And be very careful with it. And Jem reaches into his coat and pulls out what looks to be a luminous bottle that gives off like a yellowish light. And there's some sort of liquid in it that's giving off this radiance, and he hands it to you.
I just give him a cock eyebrow. Let's not play games with this. What does this do exactly?
You simply break this on the ground, and any of your friends that are nearby will feel rejuvenated. You may need it if things become rather dire.
Okay, rejuvenated. So not necessarily for the health, but once we're inside. Got it. And I'll kind of tuck it into my breastplate here, or my plate rather.
You can add Gem's potion to your inventory.
And it's kind of like an explosive effect. I don't drink it.
Yes. Yeah, you crack it on the ground. As you tuck that away, he looks at you and he says, "That's very expensive."
I understand, but then again, by tomorrow, money might not mean anything, friend. And I'll give him a tap on the shoulder.
True, true.
And a kind of.
If it does
shitty
exist, somebody will have to be the ruler of that world, yes?
That's for sure.
Can't go spending everything.
Alright, well, okay, in this case, we're gonna perhaps have to deal with the subterfuge element ourselves.
I can help with the sneaky part.
Okay, that's good. Gem's companions create lead anchors. We climb up. Perhaps Arillo and I can take the lead. We're the slowest, but also the strongest. So, although Mackinac, I should include you in that as well now. We could just drag the rope up or cinch it to something after we clear out the people nice and quietly with Gem's help.
I'm
Anyways,
alright with expending a spell slot if it means you and Mackinac are having ease of movement. I'm more than capable of making you both fly if that means plates will clink maybe even the slightest bit less.
I kind of put my hands out, not to stop you, but to show like I don't. Anyways, it's more of a concerned look, and I'll go, look, with what's to come, I know magic like that can be taxing. I've seen Tidge use it. So it's up to you. I'm sure we can handle it, but I would say that's your call.
My concern would be they deal a great deal of damage to each and every one of us if we take the time to climb up their walls like that. It'd be an obvious approach and they'd have ample time to strike.
Mm-hmm. Well,
We know for sure there are two things working for and against us, which is that they will certainly be distracted by the other groups, but they'll be on alert.
Do we know what's up on top of the wall?
A heavy garrison. Certainly quite a few that'll be patrolling, and the siege engines, though I've heard none of them fired, curiously.
You know, I've seen scouts use this in the army. I've never thought of doing it myself. But what if we fashioned bush and different trees and branches to our equipment? It might help, along with Colcoat's whatever he has up his sleeve, get us a bit closer, especially for those who are large. We might be able to just stay immobile on the hill and on the incline and hopefully evade any suspicion. And worst case, if we are seen, then we blow the spells that we were already thinking of blowing anyways, and we get there very quickly. Dispatch a battery, have the trebuchet fire, and
Like a moving bush. That could work.
Perhaps. What do you guys think?
Sounds solid to me.
I think we need to start getting this, and I point to the trebuchet, a bit closer. I feel like we're going to run into some unexpected complications. We're going to need all the time we can get.
So, Macknar, you finish repairing this thing, and when you're done, it is in tip-top shape. It should fire quite well. It'll still have some scatter to it, which can't really be removed, especially at such a range, but this thing should function just fine.
Perfect. Did I finish my inscription to Titan as well?
Yes, you did.
Wonderful.
Mackinac, what are you thinking in terms of binding these rocks together? Is it going to be feasible?
I'm considering what we can use to bind them together. Well, we
Think
could
there
use metal. Rope would also work.
I think rope would be faster, but the time to melt metal, to make it molten and have it cool, could be several hours, and I don't even know what we could use to heat it to that degree. I mean, unless, again, you seem very capable of such things, but in my experience, furnaces take quite a bit of time to set up.
I feel
Normally,
like
yes.
I feel like a net, bundling these rocks together would suffice.
That would also work.
We could even include the scraps of metal in the middle, just to increase the weight. No need to melt it down.
Do you intend to put a kitchen sink in there as well?
Do you
Do
have,
you have one?
Sadly, no.
That you can't get it.
Great minds think alike.
Is that all you need of us, then? Ropes hanging off the side? We could see about maybe sabotaging the gate and opening it.
I'm hoping the trebuchet might be able to deal sufficient damage. What I was thinking, Jem, and maybe if my companions have a better idea, we can go with that, but you would assist us with the climb, dispatching anyone in the nearby battery, and lay low until the trebuchet fires and complete pandemonium strikes the fort, at which point you can utilize your stealth and open the gate if it hasn't been opened already.
We could certainly do something like that. I can send your friend a sending spell, as I have been. And he looks over at you, Kalik.
I'll nod.
Of course, you can try joining us back. Joining back with us, rather, in the main building as soon as possible, but I feel like your talents would be best suited to sowing chaos amongst the ranks from the shadows.
He gives you a nod and a smile.
Okay, so to summarize our rough plan right now, we create extremely rigid and tight netting, put in basically anything heavy we have into there, and go through our backpacks as well. Put everything in there, and get ready for one well-placed volley. And we'll have Mackinac take as much time in as he needs to calibrate it.
You guys should have brought oil.
Yeah. How much?
I've
Kyle
got.
has oil.
Oh, there you go. Do we have any
Not a
ideas
lot.
as to how to fire this thing remotely?
Somebody might have to be back here.
What about Harold? If he climbs fairly quickly, I mean, he can take care of launching this, and with those legs of his, and the fact that he doesn't have any stamina issues to deal with, he might just be able to scurry up and catch up with us fairly quickly.
Harold is quick, but an hour-long journey means that I doubt he'll be able to be there to help us during this fight. Is there any way one of Jim's men could stay here?
I'll look to Jim.
Or Jem, why doesn't he do it? He doesn't know how to fight, right?
I wouldn't sell him short, I think.
He puts up his hands and he says, "Well, I can't operate this by myself, all that heavy lifting, but I could stay behind." You two. And he kind of like points over at the knights and he says, "You could stay with me, and we could fix this up just fine." And they kind of nod over and look to you guys to see if there's a look of approval.
That works with me, as long as we keep Harold with us.
Mackinac, I'm curious, what heavy lifting is involved in the operation of the trebuchet? If we load the ammunition in advance, and get everything prepped, is it just a simple lever to fire, or is there more heavy lifting involved?
Trebuchet knowledge, Mackinac, go!
Could we use some kind of rope fuse to light it after we leave? Would that work?
I'll look to Mackinac, still unsure.
It appears Mackinac is on call and is downloading an update.
Frantically looking at schematics on the wiki page.
Trebuchets for dummies.
Oh, he muted himself. Interesting.
I would say that Mackinac could tell you that loading the trebuchet is a matter of moving whatever heavy object it is, like onto a thin strip of leather, which lays on the ground. And then as far as firing it, it would be a pull of a lever, and then a whole bunch of winch work and, tightening the pulleys again to fire a second time. Normally, a trebuchet would have a crew of like maybe half a dozen to a dozen men, so if you're doing this with 3, it's not going to be super fast.
Right. Well, we only need to fire it once, I think. I mean, we'd like to fire it more than once, but I don't think we have the ammunition or the time or the staff.
What's our aim with this? Is it just to take out as many people as we can, or?
Oh, right. Well, we know the main building and the central orb are quite vital, and we suspect, or Jem suspects anyways, that there's a hidden passage within the main building here, and I'll point towards this part on the star, that leads to a subterranean chamber where the ritual resides. The Eldritch Inquisition gave us an ingredient to swap the demon's blood out with this, and according to them, this should nullify the ritual entirely. So our plan is, this camp here should host the majority of the standard men, knights, and whatever else we might expect. If we can land the trebuchet shot within that area, and perhaps even near the gate, we can take out many guards, have them scrambling, potentially break open the gate simultaneously.
Are we aiming then to break through the gate, or just cause panic towards the front, and then maybe clear up some in the back?
Yeah, I think our idea was twofold: to distract and eliminate as many of the easy, squishy targets possible. The summoning spell to the south, we're not sure what that is yet. It might be binding the demons that patrol the walls. It might be for something much bigger.
Edgar, we've been gone for seasons. Maybe Jim knows what that is. Have you found out anything about that strange ritual area?
Jem looks over at you and he says, well, it seems to be where they apply some magics. Terrible spells, that sort of thing. We've only seen a little bit of activity, but there's a group of mages that seem to keep to it, if they can be called mages. So, I can't tell you exactly what sort of threat it poses.
Can it be broken? What is it?
Quite possibly.
No?
There's a large ritual circle at its center, and if that's damaged enough, that should stop whatever it is they're doing. We've seen them call demons using it, so that may stall reinforcements, but there's still at least a couple hundred in the fortress just on its own.
Well, it was a good point to bring up, Tidge. We might want to consider the benefits of targeting the camp versus the rituals.
I do have a question though. Do we have any use of using this Dimension Door scroll other than porting 2 of our heaviest members in?
The only thing I could think would be maybe bringing somebody up on that wall, but it all depends on how many people are there.
We also can't forget the fact that we might not find the secret passage. And if the orb in the center somehow gives us visibility down into the subterranean chamber, we might need to use Dimension Door to bring people in. There's no guarantee that the tunnel leading underground is even in that, let alone if we'll find it.
I'm still of the camp that we should spin the scroll to get us onto that wall. Or at least 2 of us. And then
How
if
big
there's
is
an-
that wall again?
60 to 80 feet, I think.
Oh,
Jensen.
I can scale that wall in like just seconds. I'm alright.
Yeah, so I was mostly referring to Mackinac.
Well, no, what if we just like we've shot the thing, we climb up a couple, maybe Gems guys sabotage. I don't think we need to waste everything we've got just to get in. If we've got some people up top, I'm sorry, lazy bones, you just got to climb the wall.
That's kind of my thinking. We'll need everything we can use and muster while we're inside.
All right.
And again, I mean, Erlebalt, your point still stands. If we find ourselves being rained down by archers, or we get spotted, or taking too much time and we hear an attack go on, or for some reason the trebuchet fires early, any of these things could happen. In which case, we could use the Dimension Door to expedite things. I'm just saying, best case scenario, let's not use them until we're absolutely forced to.
I can agree with that. Right, do we have this plan set out? I'm curious, did we net up all the rocks yet to get it prepped?
Do you guys have nets?
I think I have 100 feet of rope.
Okay.
We can start with that, I guess.
So, with 100 feet of rope, you could probably create a large net to throw a bunch
We
of
can't
garbage in.
waste all the rope though, because we need to climb the wall.
Well, Gem will supply the anchor ropes, and then we just need to follow those in groups of 3.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Yeah.
Waste the rope.
And if someone has more rope, we could even create a tighter net. That way nothing falls out while it's flying, and it's more likely to roll when it lands.
I do have an extra
I do have some
flask
rope
of
we can
oil.
use.
A flask of oil. Oh shit.
I can here, I'll take the lantern I just purchased, and I'll put the oil in to kind of protect it just a little bit, and close it up. If we include some fire, and when this hits, it should I don't know, cause a bit of fire.
So what are we doing then? For the camp and the door with fire, or are we trying to damage the ritual circle? Because now that we've brought that up, I do feel like the camp isn't the obvious choice anymore.
Well, it might be easier for us to, as a smaller group, mess up a ritual site than it would be to kill the entire camp.
I'll just nod. Yep,
There's no guarantee that a rain of rocks is going to do anything to it anyways.
Also true. And finally, I think demons are more up close and personal than ranged. And if we are having friends that are coming down from the sky, I'd rather take down the archers, if there are any in the camp, than demons.
Some of those mages might be in that camp too.
That's true. Okay.
The demon that we faced previously did kill us with a ranged attack. Just word of warning, these are very, very versatile and dangerous enemies.
It's a good point, Erlebal, but at the same time, my father was, after his possession, was, I think, 25 feet tall. These demons that are spotted are anywhere between 7 to 9. So I don't think they have the same capabilities, although you're right, they might have some lesser form of a ranged attack. But I think everyone's points still stand. Mages might be in the camp. Archers might be in the camp for sure. And the gate is near there. So any explosion would funnel people towards it to protect their one open ground level entrance. Giving us plenty of time, along with Gem, to sabotage batteries and go down the bridge into the main building before they have a chance to button up.
Are we to the west of the camp?
South.
Oh, south of it. Okay.
Illusion, with my with study and my tinker's tools, could I take 18 bullets and start disassembling them to get the gunpowder out of it? And use that as more of a ignition source. If I included that with that lantern with the oil in it, so when it impacts, it would create that ignition.
Sure, you could do that.
Okay.
You can
Oh,
roll
I see.
Tinker's
So-
tools for me.
So instead of lighting it on fire before launching it, it would spark.
Yeah, there's no guarantee that it would stay on fire.
I got you. It's a good idea. In worst case, it doesn't work. They're still getting fucking hundreds and hundreds of pounds of shit on their.
Okay. Not
What?
great. That's only a 12.
Okay. You fashion a firing mechanism here. This thing should go off on the impact, but you can't be certain until it's actually fired, so who knows?
I'd like to, if possible. I have a censer, I have incense, and I have like religious candles and things.
Mhm.
I would want to pack that in the center, not necessarily for increased effect, but maybe the fact that I've carried these throughout the years and they're related to my prayers of Metri. If they do impact any demons, maybe it does damage. I don't know. I would pack that in.
You could add it, like it just could be useful as like additional things flying through the air.
Right.
I mean, like even a dinner plate's gonna probably kill a guy if it falls from high enough.
Right.
Anybody have caltrops or?
I'm
Ball
sticking
bearings or anything?
javelins in.
Did
In
somebody say
between rocks.
caltrops and ball bearings?
Yes.
I have approximately 3,000 ball bearings and 3,000 caltrops.
Because reasons.
Fucking hashtag bandolier mod from Skyrim. Fuck.
We
with
bought
your-
them 6 months ago and never used them against the 1T.
Well, we're using them now, boys.
So let's keep track of what we're putting in. I'll put in 5 javelins pointing out at different ends.
Okay. This is gonna be like the medieval mother of all bombs.
Okay, so I'm putting 5 javelins. Do we want to? Yeah. Do we want a catapult card?
Oh, you know what? I was looking at my inventory.
There you go. Right on it.
Earl has
One person at a time, because it'll reset with whoever writes in it last.
I'll just do one more thing here. Incense blocks. Candles times 10.
I just
blocks.
added it all up. Earl has 294 darts. Probably not going to use all of them, so we can throw some in there.
Probably put like 250 of those in there.
Well, 50 of them are like good darts, and then I have 6 magic darts, 20 keen darts. I've got like
I can also I'll use my cloak of fur for winter, Kalik, so you can soak it in oil and put it in the center. Maybe it holds the liquid better.
Okay.
Sure. You want me to coat just a little bit of holy oil?
Just in case, yeah, why not?
I'm gonna save a majority of it though for.
What are incense P blocks?
P blocks. I think just penis blocks. I think is what that is.
Most likely.
Of course. How silly of me.
It's a
I mean,
technical
everybody
term.
knows.
Oh my god! For the first time in the campaign, Edgar's going lightweight. Do we
Anybody?
need
Yeah, I'm
a
gonna
tinder?
add my stuff to it.
Do we
I
need
could
a
craft.
box?
I could craft a fire starter.
I'll put my blanket in there too.
Does anyone
have-
have trouble? I mean, unrelated. Does anyone have trouble hitting people with their attacks? Like a sharpshooter or great weapon master or something that like makes it less accurate?
I don't.
Take 30
Ashley
years
cough
to hit
cough?
something. You
When
can
I
have
hit, the
advantage.
thing is I don't have negative modifiers, but if I hit, I can put down some serious Metri law. So
Well, I just have
Are you
this
thinking about-
potion of heroism, and it like gives you bless, and there's no concentration on it or anything. So that's just 1d4 extra accuracy per hit. I mean, it's sort of small, but you know.
I can cast that too. Yeah, I had it prepped for yesterday. Whatever you want, man. I could definitely use it. I'll just put my name in the hat for people that could use it. Okay.
Everyone done with the bomb contents? I'll throw some stuff in.
Jesus.
Oh,
I
That looks
have
like
a
fun.
grenade stick.
I'm gonna edit it real quick.
Come on, it's
I don't
the
know if you
friendship
guys wanna
bomb.
throw
Everyone
that
has to
in there.
put one miscellaneous item in.
Reminds me of the fucking scene in Pirates of the Caribbean where they're just putting forks and knives and shit in the cannon.
Oh, and the cannons.
That's basically what's happening.
Guy with the wooden eye gets one stuck in it.
Exactly.
I'm running low, so like once it's done, I'm just gonna like start jamming bullets in it.
I'm just gonna drop my backpack here. Don't need it.
Wasp stingers, little holy oil, 3 daggers. Yes. Keep it coming. Keep it coming.
Wait, one
I
more.
can't wait for
Alright,
the other session
I'm-
where they go like, you hear something whistling through the air. You look up. What? It's just a giant
Oh,
off orb.
I can finally get rid of it.
Is this what we're doing? We're just throwing
Are
all
you
the shit
fucking
that
putting
we.
that bear head in there?
No,
he got rid of that.
I got rid
Gross.
of that a while ago. Is anybody typing in it right now or no?
I'm not, but I'm about to.
Okay, I've got one thing I want to put in there.
Alright, just put it in.
All right. Oh shit! I spelled it wrong. One second.
Can't wait to use my force mace, my arrow catching shield. And I'm a shield master now.
There you go.
Whoop! Golden tassel for fun.
Christ.
a June
Had
gets
that
in, a June
forever.
gets in with his own fucking furniture accoutrement.
Guess who spelt it right to begin with and then spelt it wrong? Oh no, I spelt it right. Never mind.
You spelled it wrong.
I
then,
was
right?
like, finally got rid of that fucking
anyone
thing.
else? Anyone else want to add to the?
I'm
friendship
adding
bond?
right now.
Nice.
I still do have a bomb. You know that, right?
You'll keep that. Yeah, we might need it to like bust down a door or fuck some people up.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm assuming like if they have low-level peons, they might have like anywhere from 10 to 20 HP, and that bomb's 3d6, so you can fuck some people up.
80 darts,
Oh, yeah.
a shield.
He's just throwing it in for weight, or like just towards the center, I guess.
I'm picturing Earl put it in like a Viking funeral, like on the shield, just 80 darts sprawled out.
He
Oh, yeah,
lays
I
them
mean-
down and prays for each one.
Hey, Jem, you wanna add anything?
God damn.
He must look so disappointed.
He shakes his head.
Aww.
Well, does
What's
anyone?
the perfume? Hey, at least it'll smell good when it goes off.
Is anybody editing this?
I am not.
Be the perfect bomb for Aldrin to walk into.
Yep.
For enemies afraid of miscellaneous objects.
I have no
Just
more
toss
gem.
Aldrin in there.
Mm-hmm.
He's a
This is all shit you can find in his beard.
Basically.
Yeah, it is. It's called the beard bomb.
Man, if you guys had the Wasp figurine, that would be perfect.
Oh my god, wouldn't it? In the box.
Oh fuck. That would
God, I wish we just had a puzzle box.
Yeah.
I could tinker a fire starter that would set it off potentially. Would I be able to make one that would like ignite on impact?
You have one of those in there right now, but you could make a second one just to be sure.
No, I won't worry about it.
I'm not very confident in mine might work. Eh.
He rolled a 12.
Mine would require an hour.
Can you make it on the way?
Manacles,
Probably.
key to a June's drawers, small knife, my will to live.
Nice. Okay.
So,
All right.
you guys currently have a tightly balled up net here that's filled with rocks and a ton of miscellaneous garbage that you guys have been carrying around. Some of these items, like the ball bearings and whatnot, have their own bags that they're in, but other miscellaneous pieces don't, and so you guys have to kind of wrap those up in a coat, which is soaked in oil, and then stuff that into the net, and then put rocks down on it and everything. There's no telling how this is going to go. There's no ballistics for what's it like to shoot like a sack of turds like through the air, right? So there's no telling how this is going to go, but you certainly filled it with a lot of love and you put a lot of thought into it, and it'll be interesting either way. So you guys have the ultimate bomb here ready to go, which will be fired by the trebuchet crew consisting of Jem and your 2 knights. Who'll be back here to operate the machine. Unless you're just firing it once, and that's it, and then you would only need like one person to pull the lever, basically.
Pull the lever, Kronk.
I think we only have ammunition, right? So I'm thinking if we're coming from the
Cusco's
south,
poison.
it's actually perfect. We set up the trebuchet there, like around here. It fires in a line. If it fires short, it hits the ritual circle and rolls on, maybe. But ideally we aim for here, which is also good because it rolls on into the door if possible. And yeah, and then we could approach from here. Like we would circle around the fort and then approach from the other side.
Mhm.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's where we would aim, and it's like anywhere in that circle is good enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Because bearings will probably bounce off the side of a building, but tents, not so much.
Caltrop. Don't forget the caltrop.
Oh, dude, when that thing goes off, imagine being close to that. Fuck. Oh
thanks.
no.
You just find dead bodies laying with like 80 caltrops stuck in each one.
One guy, all 3,000 hit him straight on.
He died to a roll of 20 d4s, a fate worse than death.
Shit, nice. Okay, well, I think we got a plan, right? So we're gonna bush up, as it were, for our armor, coat. I think you have pass without a trace, is what you were saying?
Yes.
Okay, so we approach, pass without a trace, and gillied up. If shit hits the fan, flies start going off on the heavy people, we pick someone up, we start flying towards the battery. If not, we get close, Jem sets the anchors, we climb all the way up, and Bob's your uncle. Start fucking people up. Last
Can his
action hero
dudes
style.
can his dudes take out like this one while we attack this one? Is
They
that a possibility?
they could, but then we don't have lead anchor rope set up by them.
Could 2 of them do that and one of them give us anchors?
Sure, but then we have one rope to climb up for all of us. It's possible. I'm just saying. We're just playing devil's advocate.
How much rope do we still?
I used all of mine. I don't know if anyone else has.
I don't have.
I have 40 feet of rope, but I don't know if that's going to be enough for 60 to 80 feet tall
Pretty
walls.
sure Mackinac has some.
Maybe.
Mackinac. Oh,
I have 250 feet of rope.
That is a lot of rope.
That's
A lot
probably
of
enough rope.
Is it enough rope?
I'd say it's enough rope.
Alright. If he says it's enough rope, it's enough rope. I have enough rope.
well, we have enough for 2 climbs, right? It's 60 to 80 feet.
Mm-hmm.
So we would have 2 leads. So whoever's climbing up, it could be Coalcoat and let's say Gem is with us. You guys can put 2 anchor or 2 lead ropes. The other 2 take care of that battery. Although, who's to say that they don't get fucked up? Like they said there's a couple dozen people patrolling. the
Table talk,
fort.
there's gonna be luck rolls for everything.
Yeah.
Nah.
And what's like the battery would have to turn around and then fire at us, and we're in and out so quick. We just climb up, fuck people up, and go across the bridge. That's why I'm kind of wondering, is it worth even sabotaging these batteries now?
Gandalf, no!
What do you guys think?
If we're moving quickly, probably not. If we're going to be up there for any extended amount of time, yeah, we probably don't want to take like a cannon to the head.
Yeah.
The barbarian campaign.
I guess option A, we do it quickly. Option B, we use the battery and start firing around the camp along with the trebuchet.
While we're planning, can we start to move closer, or are we?
The trebuchet can fire all the way onto the fortress from here.
Oh, well, could we get it closer to like increase our accuracy?
Ah, yes, absolutely. So,
Nice.
the trebuchet doesn't exactly have wheels, that was not foreseen, but you guys are able to collectively drag this thing here. Using some ropes and the manpower of a dozen and a large mechanical construct, you guys start to drag this thing off and get it closer and closer and closer.
Cool.
Who has the scroll dimension door? Just recommend.
I've got it right now.
Okay. No, I think you're a good person to have it on.
So I'm going to draw something in real quick here.
If archers start firing on us, we need to get probably Edgar and Arillo up there ASAP.
Yeah.
Maybe Mackinac.
My arrow catching shield gives me an AC of 22, and I can intercept arrows going towards Arillo.
Well then, Arillo and Mackinac then. Because we're just gonna want people up there to start dealing with them, right?
So
Yeah.
you guys shuffle your trebuchet up into the tree line here. And you guys are currently with it, but we can position you elsewhere if you guys end up moving around. So for the time being, you're down here.
The God Beam! Okay, so in this case, we only need one person to fire the trebuchet.
Yep.
So I guess we want to use one of the sneaky boys, or do we want to use one of the knights? The knights
I
will be
think Earl
badass.
should fire it since it has so many darts within it.
Can I roll sharpshooter on the trebuchet shot?
No, use his, what's it called? The
Can I
exploding
put
arrow?
bursting dart
Yeah.
into it?
Can you do that?
Can I arcane archer my trebuchet, please?
I think it's like a good 30% dart right now. I mean, the compelling
Wow.
argument.
I mean, I'm down. I'm
I would
down.
say
and then some.
If you
someone
leave
has-
Earl behind to do that, it could take some time for him to rejoin you guys and all that. But I will make a luck roll to see whether or not he can cast Bursting Dart into the trebuchet.
It only does 2d6 damage, guys. Like,
Listen,
Yeah, but how many darts did you put in there?
80.
Is it 2d6 per dart table talk, or is it 2d6 per bowl?
No, I
I
feel
will
like
say it's not going to
be with
add
the
just
group.
2d6 of damage.
Okay. Well, Earl, it's up to you, man.
You won't.
You're
How far away would I be? This is getting enticing, but no, I need to be there. I need to be there.
The
'cause
run
gold
from the
darts in
tree
there.
line all the way up to the fort is like 600 feet kind of thing.
Give him the dimension door.
or fly.
Oh,
Keep
could
him
do
with
that.
like one of the people that have fly, and you guys can zoom in Superman style.
Yeah, see, I just worry that this will all go not so well in fights, and there'll be a situation where all I need to do is like get to the next room, and I can stop everything. But I'll have wasted the scroll on walking
Well,
to the fortress.
Wasted.
Coldcoat, if you think about it, without wasting the scroll, fly is what, 60 feet per... Well, that's table talk, I would
I
ask.
think it's
but
40.
40
60.
feet.
It is
Is it
60.
60?
It's 60
Yep.
per turn, which is 6 seconds. And it's 600 feet that they're far away, so it'd be 10 times... It's 1 minute to get there. Is that math fucked, or am I correct on that?
Nope, and that's not including dashes.
That's... Oh, wow, okay. So half the
How long is the
Can someone stay
concentration
with
on
Earl?
fly?
So, Earl, you can get
10
there in 30
minutes.
seconds after you fire the trebuchet. If you have someone that can cast fly with you there.
Okay. I'm concerned about having a 4th level slot already burned to give me fly. Or I guess would it just be giving me only fly, or would it be giving 2 people fly?
2 people.
I
Yeah,
was worried
so
you were going to
fourth
say
level
flying the
slot.
trebuchet.
I was gonna say you could carry him. One person could carry the other person. Isn't that a
Half
thing?
movement.
Yeah, but I mean,
Harold
yeah,
can
at
just
take
most
it
it
from-
would be
It's-
like.
We're warlocks. It's always gonna be 4th level.
Well, I guess
can't
what I'm
hurt
saying
spells.
is that if we're already going to burn a 4th level slot on fly, we might as well just use Dimension Door and get both of us, like, immediately there, right?
Well,
Yeah.
Dimension Door is what range? I didn't think you could
500,
get...
500 feet, yeah.
Oh, but then you would have 100 feet to walk, and then you have to climb 60
But
feet.
see, it does things that fly cannot. If we have to get through like that
barrier.
glass dome and
Yeah.
can't break it,
I can make a
can
little
get through.
clockwork girl. It just throws darts at the string until it breaks.
Well, yeah, so I think Coco has a point. I think fly is the best option, and we have... we can do one of 2 things. Either we cast fly on Earl in advance. We hope that we can make... No, because then we're not going to be able to orient ourselves on the left.
Wait,
And
Illusion,
cross.
how far away is the fortress from the tree line?
Like 500 or 600 feet away.
I mean,
Fly only lasts 10 minutes too.
Exactly.
I'm just saying, somebody who can cast Dimension Door normally, just you guys spend 1 round running from the tree line and then cast Dimension Door to get up onto the wall.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, if we are already going to be burning, not the scroll, but the 4th level spell slot for fly, then it's just the same for casting Dimension Door, right? And we instantly get there within a round.
Hmm.
You can also choose where you go, and you don't have to be shot at and stuff while you're flying.
Okay.
Pretty
Okay. I
good.
see the point.
Not that
well,
getting
it's-
shot at isn't fun or anything, but you know.
So we could basically get Earlbald into the action within a turn maximum 2, and the difference is potentially imbuing this love bomb with more love.
Yes. I can also...
He
Well,
can.
I don't know how this will be ruled, but I might be able to Grasping Dart, or wait, is it called Grasping Dart? Yes, Grasping Dart. It creates a bunch of vines that entangle something. I might be able to pull this thing more condensed for more accuracy. But I don't know. This is all like...
Bursting sounds so much more
bursting.
compelling. Yeah.
Although I
And-
can use both.
Hypothetically,
You can use both. Come on.
if you
It's
if
one
you
attack,
tr-
friendo.
if you pull the trigger,
Just bursting
run your
both.
ass off, Dimension Door, you can get to us by the time it hits.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god!
He just
And
shows up.
potentially hit yourself.
Dimension Door on top of
Killed by one of your own darts.
Dimension Door onto the giant dart.
Ride it like a fucking hurricane.
We're just gonna be, what's that guy from Dragon Ball? Like the original Dragon Ball that just chucked fucking trees and pillars?
why don't you just go on the big ball and then Dimension Door as you're
No.
flying on the...
Oh,
Maybe not.
I don't think it stops the momentum.
Would it?
A fucking door splats on the other side. Oh no.
Alright, I'm cool with this plan, so... is it Dominic that has Dimension Door? So he'd stay with me. And then we both show up within a round.
You would have to run 100 feet, then cast it, right? I think, and that's assuming that you guys are showing up here. We're gonna be on this arm.
I left you a picture there, Earl.
I left a video.
That's exactly, yes.
I mean, I think it's still fine if we don't exactly end up on the same one. There's gonna be a lot of pandemonium, and we're pretty strong boys.
Or, I mean, worst case, you guys just spend the extra round or two dashing so you can get to the right one. It's up to you guys, but,
Even this one here is not.
yeah. I just
Yeah,
don't want 2 people to get flanked by 12, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Then-
that makes sense. But it's I still feel Dimension Door's the ideal way to go about this, because we can just zip on up, right?
I agree. I mean, you guys made the case for it for sure. Okay. Okay, so you and
Let's do this.
Oh my god, we're doing it. So, alright, so you and Dax are gonna fucking work that magic. How you want to approach, which arm you want to approach is up to you guys.
So you two are staying with the trebuchet?
I guess so.
Okay.
We're gonna be approaching from this side.
So go ahead and move your pieces where you would be. Including the knight's gem and all that jazz.
And I guess everyone who, well, we could do it for everyone, but we would want to, like, you know, sully our armor, get dirt on us, camo, fucking
I don't want
bushes
dirt
and
on
our
me.
shit. Okay, well, not you. But
He's so much of a noble now.
It's just a lone tabaxi in a group of moving bushes. Hey Daryl, you see that down there? Was that
Straight
there
up,
before?
Metal Gear style, you just exclamation mark on top of their head.
I'm just picturing Kolko dying and the game over sound. Snake, no, no.
You are dead. Okay. Well, yeah, I'll be, I don't know if people can help me to make it look better, but yeah, just bushes, weird
Okay.
face, sullied armor, no shine on anything as much as...
Does anybody have proficiency with a disguise kit?
Gem, do you have a proficiency with the
Oh,
disguise kit?
Fair enough.
No joke.
Yay!
Earl has disguise kit as well.
I'll roll that. Let's see here.
Yeah, but
Okay.
he has advantage, right? Cause
Gem rolls at 26, and
What the hell?
and spend some time fashioning disguises for you guys, and it looks like he's pretty good at them, and shows you guys different ways of tucking twigs into your armor and stuff like that. It's not comfortable by any means, but he reassures you that it's only temporary, and once you get up there, you can just cast it aside.
Can I just tie a big big leafy branch to my back?
Just one branch.
Like a pretty big one with a lot of foliage on it.
A lot of foliage. So I guess Gem is gonna do a sending message to
Is the
these two to signal.
Yeah. Is the twig pointing up, or is it down? Like, do you look like a stick of broccoli, or like there's leaves shooting out of your ass?
Are you going?
Probably
peacock or
like
broccoli? Peacock or
the
broccoli?
part that I break off, the bigger part of the branch would be around like my head, and then the end of the branch at the bottom.
Oh, okay. Alright. So you guys get over there, you're all disguised, and there is one problem though, which is that while Harold can be disguised, you know, it's not exactly the same. Because, like, someone can look in a field and see, like, a bush move or, like, a patch of grass, but Harold's not exactly low to the
What if
ground
we
or
give him a
anything.
fake mustache?
Definitely not Harold.
This isn't Harold, this is Harry.
So what do you guys want to do about him?
Hmm.
Hmm.
I mean, what if they think it's still a spider, but it's really close instead of really far away?
What if we just turn him invisible?
Oh,
Do we
that's
have invisibility?
That's a big ass spell slot, but yeah, Tidge has it, I think.
I do.
That is,
You could do that.
That's a big PP spell slot.
It's a big pee-pee.
It's funny because
Why
he
is
said
everything
pee-pee.
pee-pee?
PowerPoints.
I mean, I could cast it at 4th
It's not
level.
my fault you're fascinated when I say
Four of
pee-pee
us.
slap or big pee-pee.
Yes, this just
You
catches me
could
off
maybe
guard.
do it on all the noisy people, like probably Mr. Harrington and Bondi.
Does Harold count as a creature?
In certain cases, why?
Because I need to cast. If I cast invisibility, it only work on a creature.
Yes, he would be able to be invised.
Okay.
The DM says cautiously protecting himself.
Yes. Strapping on his armor.
Okay, well we know invisibility is an option, but not the ideal one.
So yeah, if I cast it, I'm casting it at 4th level. Or
Ugh.
I'll be turning 3 of us. 3 of us invisible.
Damn.
So 2 others in Harold.
So we're gonna have pass without a trace, disguise kit, and advantage is what invisibility casts, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's up to you, Tidge. I mean, maybe we can
Yes.
think of a different way, but does seem like the easiest solution. And if you cast that on myself, Mackinac, and because Arillo, you have decent dex, right? You're not in the negative,
Yeah, I'm not in the negative.
right?
I
So
have-
so your stealth at least is
Plus
not
2.
-1, and you're not at disadvantage for plate. So
Yeah.
Mackinac and I and Harold would probably be the targets for that. So yeah, I mean it sounds like an okay idea for sure. Anyone have any other ideas that doesn't Tidge 4th level spell?
Harold is
Well-
not actually made of metal.
If you are burning another 4th level spell, again, we could just dimension door.
I
Or-
can't do that.
Never
Harold,
mind.
unfortunately, is too large. Unless
Yes.
Harold would be the one to cast it.
Because my
We got-
stature actually restricts quite a bit. I don't think I could dimension door anybody but myself.
It's unfortunate.
The only reason why I can dimension door you is because we're of similar size. Harold himself would have to cast a spell and open up a gate large enough for him and others to pass through. Similarly,
see.
I can only cast a gate that fits, well, myself, and you'd have to squeeze a tiny bit, but you can travel yourself.
Now, meanwhile, back at the trebuchet, what are you two doing as you're standing there with the giant bomb and the lever is, there for you guys to pull whenever?
Hey, our plan is coming together, Lebal.
Sorry, what?
What?
Yes.
is going on?
What is that?
We're all-
Rocky and Bullwinkle, just like the villain? Like what?
Yes! Holy fuck!
That was an obscure ass reference, dude.
Was it Boris or was it Natasha?
Boris, I mean, I didn't get the fucking accent in there, but I can't do what Doctor does. Jesus.
Well, a failed Spanish. Tried to be like the Khajiit and could not do it.
I thought you were aiming for Russian, so. Yeah.
That's just where
Nobody
it ended up.
knows.
That's where it ended up.
No one knows your accent or my race.
Oh my
That's
god.
perfect.
Hearing
cannot
Ash fuck
believe
that
that.
up not once but twice killed me.
Yeah, well, I don't care what race he is. I just,
You don't see race.
he's just, no,
My eyes don't
He's
even
just
work.
like a short human.
he's just a buddy, and that's all that matters.
Aww.
Yay.
Hashtag, yay.
Hashtag ultra homo.
Miss me with that gay shit.
Okay, Tidge, are you okay with the invisibility?
Yeah.
Oof. He says longingly.
So
Okay.
who's getting invised? Harold plus whom? Put them next to Harold here.
I think it's myself and Mackinac.
Yeah.
Because whoever's gonna, I have disadvantage, so at least that'll cancel that out.
So this is the invis squad there, and the rest are gonna be going up in camo.
Camo and pass without a trace. Well, we're all gonna get within circle of pass without a trace for Coco, and then.
Isn't it
and then
targets? You can only hit a certain number.
There's no limit.
Very nice.
Oh,
I'm
fuck.
going up with you guys, aren't I, Edgar?
No, these are just invisible people. I'm not
Yeah,
invisible.
you are coming up with us, but you're just not a target of invisibility. Illusion asked us to separate it.
Yeah, just so I can remember.
Oh, okay.
But you're all going in a batch. The separate ones are, these guys are going to go ahead and see to it that there's ropes for you guys to climb.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, I'll give it to them too if they want it. They're stupid that it doesn't say there's a limit.
Okay, so they get it as well. So you guys pass without a trace, you've camoed, and soon you cast Invis on a portion of the group. And with that, let's see, Jem will take his men and they'll go. So the plan is, just to clarify, that you guys are going to go like this. So you're going to have this group go ahead and then set up ropes. And then you guys will be traveling along in the field as well, hopefully to use the ropes. Is the Invis gang doing anything different? Is Harold just coming straight with you all?
I think so.
Okay.
I think we'd be approaching with the Gems crew on the north side.
When are you calling for the bomb? Or is that whenever you meet up with Jem and tell him to send the message, or what?
I'm thinking, guys, and you can correct me here, but I was thinking, like, as soon as we peek over the sides and we're basically ready to climb, or like Jem, his crew are up top, and we're all just directly beneath him, then the trebuchet can fire. It lands and we fucking climb over the walls, take out the battery while they're turning to see the explosion. And then we can use the battery maybe once to fire at the ritual site if we have time. And then we can storm the building. Because
if we timed it right, like if it was able to impact as we're coming up, at least then, like if we do fuck up and get spotted, oh shit, there's like a gigantic explosion thing behind, and it would give us enough time to.
That's a good point.
It's tight timing, but at least we could shoot for it.
Well,
No, you're
either
right.
Kalik or Jem can call and just sending spell Earl or Dominic for the bomb at any time.
I don't have sending prepared right now.
Ah, never mind. It's up to
Coco
Jem
has
then.
you have a good point though, man, because like what are they gonna do? Call for help? Like everyone's gonna be looking at the explosion, so whoever spots us is gonna be on their own. I think that's a good point.
So
can
we'll
do
do
that.
almost like a simultaneous. We run out, it's fired, and up the walls.
Mackinac, what do you think the travel time for? I mean, I know it's tough to gauge the ballistics of what we put in there, but do you reckon 5 seconds, 6 seconds for the lob?
Mackinac, I think that you would guess anywhere from like 10 to 12 seconds before it lands, but that's just a guess. It could be much shorter or longer.
I would guess it would be airborne for 10 to 12 seconds.
Well, there you go, Jim.
We would hit slightly after.
Should I be with your group then, or meet you up at the wall? If I'm away from you and you decide to change your mind, there'll be no way to send the spell.
Well, I think we're going to take the northern approach since you're going to be laying down rope. We're all going to be climbing the same side, so we'll definitely be with you for sure.
Okay. If that's the case, then are we ready?
I'm nervous.
Let's save the world.
Okay.
The world.
The world.
So with that, you guys start to make your way through the field, and crawling on the ground prone with your copious amounts of camouflage, you make your way up and hope that the tall grass and the single twig on Colcoat's back and everything like that keeps you from being spotted. Hopefully, you're just shifting foliage on a windy day and eventually manage to get right up to the wall, but only time will tell. And at any given moment, you guys can call upon what would be the greatest assist of all time, and Earl will find out whether or not your thing works. Before we do that, though, we're going to do a quick 5-10 minute break. Let's go ahead to the bathroom or whatever there, and we'll re-adjourn with a bunch of luck rolls and probably a lot of stealth.
Just so you guys know, I'm gonna roll double ones on my stealth. We've done this before.
Nice. Good call. Okay. Well, you have +10.
I mean, double. It could be worse than double ones.
I have rolled double ones with advantage before.
I'll be right back.
BRB.
Little me. Little me. Little me. Just driving me nuts.
Hmm?
I'll show you.
Aha.
Hey, I have an electric vehicle that needs charge. Tim gave me an electric charger installed in my slot. I switched spots. Sure, I know. Oh. Not really. can also look into the ocean. You also get a tax.
Hey, hola.
Yo.
Okay.
¿Por qué?
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eh.
No.
Back it up.
Well, I bet
Ah,
you
Ashley
could
spoke.
be
So,
naughty.
Yikes.
It's all ruined.
Candy shop.
Oh my gosh. Oh, now it's stuck in my head. It's all somebody's fault.
I take it we're missing Billy and a couple.
I believe so.
Gotcha.
I'm here.
I'm gonna be here in 1 minute.
What up,
What?
Jason Derulo.
He's calling from the shitter.
Now it's gonna be 3 minutes.
Now forever known as Jason Derulo.
I knew cream corn was a mistake.
What? Back in my day, corn only came in one style. The cob.
Shut the fuck up, Grandpa. God damn. What are the odds somebody rolls a nat 1 on the stealth roll up the hill?
Oh, I will.
Oh, 100%.
'Cause,
It's just a question of how many natural ones.
pass without trace won't save you from a nat 1.
You know what will, though?
Nope.
A twig?
A twig?
Love of Titan?
I'm back.
Ooh, no, I'm sorry, the love of Jacob.
Yashua?
Oh, Jacob.
Does my
For the
feral
love of Jacob, as long as you decide to sacrifice
Oh
one,
no, that's initiative.
it'll be fine.
Jakob.
Jacob.
Yeah, yalla.
Aloha
his
snack
name.
bar?
Yalla.
Aloha Swagma.
Yo yo.
Welcome back.
Yo, yo, yoey.
Things I heard today.
Sorry, is no one else got a fish off that Zoe 101 reference?
No.
Nope. Just gonna let that sit there and think about it.
I didn't even get the reference.
then you're clearly not a Zoe whatever connoisseur.
Excuse you, Zoe 101.
That's yeah, sure.
Come on, man.
Naruto,
The
Shippuden,
star
Open-
show is.
I think I've seen that anime before.
I fucking laughed when I was working at Future Shop Best Buy, where parents would come in. Hi, I'm looking for Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 4. It's like the longest fucking game title ever. Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 4.
It should have been like, oh, we only have Naruto Shippuden Elite Backstab Shadow Attack 3.
They would look at me and go, "Oh, okay. Do you know where I could find it elsewhere?" Like they would not miss a beat, I'm sure.
Honey, I think our kid's retarded. Okay, we're here. Are you guys ready?
I think so.
Ready, Freddy.
My
So
stomach
begins
is
the
not
final attack. I need everybody over in this group to make their stealth rolls. Those of you who are invis don't have to bother. Okay.
Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, fuck. Yes.
Type in your results, please. And if anyone gets a nat 1, I obviously need to know about
No! Oh!
Oh! That was almost fucked.
Oh my god. Remember, guys, plus 10. Does the camo add a modifier?
Mm-mm.
No? Oh my god.
It allows these checks to be possible.
Oh! So
So
do we still get the plus 10
Oh,
or
were
no?
we rolling stealth?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
baby.
plus
that's
10.
That's a billion.
32, 22, 26.
Oh, wait, plus 10 too?
Yeah.
What?
I'm getting a 33.33% recurring on my
Repeating, of course.
competing, of course.
Oh my god. Guess who beat you?
Oh my. Kolokota.
I'd like to think I'm
Dark.
not even crouching, that I'm just like standing with
Like,
the twig on my
Just
back.
briskly walk.
Why are you guys like walking so slowly? What's going on?
We're all crawling. He's literally just like walking.
Just a twig. He just turns around. They'll never see me. So you guys crawl through the grass and make your way up, and like the experience of leaving the tree line and just being out in the open, like you guys can look up and see the fortress basically staring down towards you, and each movement you guys worry that somebody might turn and look down, but thankfully that moment never comes, and it seems that Pass Without Trace combined with the clever camouflage is doing its work. For those of you who are invisible, you needn't worry, as you're so far away, no one would really hear your motions anyway, but things start to get different as you get closer towards the fortress, and as you're getting towards the crest of the hill and heading right up to the fortress itself, I need a second luck roll from everybody. And this time, this includes those of you who are invis. Now, thankfully, invis people get advantage on luck, or sorry, not luck rolls, stealth rolls.
Could we have called for the shot at some point?
I thought you were doing that later.
Yeah.
I thought we were doing it on the way up.
Yeah, like up the ropes and stuff.
Oh,
Well, like kind of
guys.
here, and then if we call for it here, and then hopefully they notice us.
Sure.
Which apparently they're gonna. It sounds like they're gonna notice us.
32, 24, 28, 27. Those are all looking pretty good.
I'm gonna have to poop on the party, boys.
What did you do? You have a plus 10.
Yeah, and I rolled a 3.
Did you roll advantage?
Yeah, against my
Oh,
disadvantage
that's
in play.
right.
Wait, we get advantage?
Mhm.
If you're
No,
invis.
I'm invisible.
I was like, what? What?
Billy, for shame.
Oh.
You guys are
Very
approaching
heavy
towards the
twig
fortress. maybe on the last stretch, about 100 feet away. It's quite close. If you were to get up and just dash, the fastest of you might be able to actually get right up towards the wall. But given its slope, that wouldn't really be much protection. And given the star shape of the fortress, you would still be easily spotted. While you're moving along here, you guys can see the garrisons there. Far back by the trees, they were but blips, but now you can see humanoid figures wandering around and even make out the visages of different people as they stare over the side of the wall or have chit-chats here and there. And it seems like there's always somebody looking over the side. And at some point while you guys are moving, you hear the armor creak come from the invisible group. It's tough to say who it is exactly. Obviously, one of them, or two of them, are constructs, and the other with heavy armor there. You guys know for sure it probably wasn't Tidge. But you guys hear this nonetheless. And when this happens, you guys see what looks like somebody who's up there on the wall, who kind of like looks over the side and peers down towards your group. What do you guys want to do?
Shit my pants.
I would freeze personally.
There's the thing. Tell them to shoot the big thing.
Can you make
Shoot
a
the
stealth
thing.
roll for me, please, Colco?
Doesn't matter if you roll a 5. It's Golko.
That's okay. That's not too bad.
22. Okay, I'm gonna make a roll here. Alright.
Damn, your stealth is insane.
You whisper to the group, telling them now might be the time to fire the bomb. Everybody hears this, but the only person who can send this is Jem, and he does not say a word. You see, he kind of like looks back and forth amongst the group here while you're just laying in the grass. Are you guys still moving forward, or have you all stopped?
I've stopped.
Yeah, if he's like staring at us and clearly heard this noise,
Mm-hmm.
there's a thing.
Okay.
We stop.
Yeah, I say we hold up and wait.
Does it look like just a normal person? Or...
Yeah, it looks like a mercenary of sorts. He's actually just a human wearing what looks to be leather armor with some weapons at his side. Off in the distance, further down the wall from your section, you can see what looks like a 7-foot-tall red demon creature moving around with a trident. So clearly it's not only humans guarding the fortress, but this is the one that seems to have noticed.
I mean, I'm hoping that all that's happening is Jem is being smart enough not to respond, but he's gonna hit the sending spell, so... And I know I can't exactly look him in the face because I'm an invisible man, so... I'm just gonna wait and hope that he sends it.
Okay. You guys wait there, and as he looks down towards your group, he makes a perception check.
It's bad.
Is he close enough that if we had to, I could, like, shot at him?
He is probably given... He's probably like 150 feet away or something.
Okay, so
Because he's like up the wall and 100 feet away. Probably a little bit more than that, 160.
I mean, if it looks like he's gonna run off and try to yell for help or anything, I might line up a shot.
Okay. So you're thinking about it, and you know, you have your rifle at your side. And he's scanning over your group, because you're not all completely bunched together. You've kind of, you know, you're spread out in a little blanket there in the grass. And as you're approaching there and he's looking down, his eyes scan across the group, and then he looks at you and he just stops and he stares directly at you, Coco.
I don't happen to hear like the whistle of like a giant rock ball from the distance coming, do I?
No.
Are we making eye contact?
Yes.
I'm just gonna shake my head no at him and see what he does.
Okay. I would like somebody to roll luck, please.
That's it.
I think it's Dax.
What? I'm not even here.
I mean, the
I'm
luck,
with the trebuchet.
the luck knows no boundaries.
This is a shared fate. But if you roll a 1, we hate you. Okay, 12.
Above average.
Okay. The guy stares down at your group there, and then he turns around and goes to run away. Now, as he's turning to run, you guys have a moment where, in the flash there of a couple seconds, you could choose to do something if you wish. What he's going to run off and do, you guys have no idea, but he looks, makes eye contact with you, Coldcoat, and then darts off. Is anybody doing anything?
I would like to try to get to the wall and scale it.
Just shimmy really fast, or just get up and sprint, or what?
Is there dudes from over here looking at us?
No, it doesn't seem like that anyone over there has noticed you, but there are obviously dudes up there. Once the jig is up, you can see anywhere from like 20 to 30 people who would be within range of like shooting bows down on you, etc.
Now, here's a quick question. Does this, like, still technically count as favored terrain? Or is it done as soon as I've left the tree line?
I would say it's done as you've left the tree line, probably. What do you want to do?
Well, because it lets you, if I travel alone, you can move stealthily at a normal pace. So I just, like, shoot off without the others and climb.
Oh, I
like,
see.
If that applied.
Roll nature for me. If you get a 10 or higher, it applies. Okay. So you could do that if you want. That is an option.
Alright, I do it.
Okay. You start going into rapid shimmy. So you guys notice this. Somebody looks at your group, he freezes at a point, and then turns and goes to run. And when that happens, Coldcoat goes into maximum shimmy, and he just starts taking ahead of everybody towards the wall. So you guys are traveling like this right now, going up towards the wall. Or at least Coldcoat is. You guys are, like, here. What do you
I'll
want to do?
dash and use tabaxi and all that stuff to...
Well, if the guy is no longer peering over, I would, just like before, start stealthily moving along. I don't know for sure yet if he's called for people, and I'm still banking on... I might actually, if he goes away, I'll do in a very low hushed tone to Jem. Jem.
He hears you and turns over.
Tell
Edgar?
them to fire.
Now?
I think we've been spotted, and we could use the distraction.
Fucking Jim.
He pauses and stares at the top of the wall. Now, while this is happening, you guys continue moving again, or are you guys going to just stay there in that spot? Because Coldcoat's gone ahead.
I would freeze because I'm trusting Jem's judgment on this.
Okay.
I'm out of my element for sure.
Okay. If that's the case, you guys are frozen back there, and Coldcoat, you make your way over towards the wall. As you get up towards it, you're able to touch the stone, and you've successfully finished your long crawl through the field. There's been no sound of bombs or anything like that, and you're now laying here against the wall just at the very bottom in a little patch of dirt and grass.
I will now unsheath my claws and climb.
Okay. You guys see Coldcoat begin to climb just straight up the wall. And while this is happening, Coldcoat, I would like you to make a stealth roll, please, and roll very high, because you're not camouflaged at all right now.
I still got a twig on my back. Nobody will notice that.
There's a tree climbing the wall.
Oh no!
No!
There it is. See, it had to come eventually. So, I mean, if that's got my bonuses, that's an 18, but it's a 1.
Okay.
Oh my god, it's an 18 with all of your... You have a plus 17?
Well, plus 10 from Pass Without a Trace, and then plus 6. Or plus 7.
Okay.
Or plus 6.
Coldcoat, you begin to scale the wall. Taking out your claws, you find the little spaces in between the bricks, and sooner or later, you're headed upwards. You've even lightened your pack, putting things into the bomb, so you're more ready for this than ever. And as you scale up, you get about maybe 10 feet before something goes wrong. You're 10 feet off of the ground, and you go to move your right hand, and it doesn't budge. And as you look over, you see that the nails from one of your sets of claws has gotten stuck in between a couple of bricks and will not budge.
Oh no, how do I break my hand off? Get out! I will struggle.
Now, while this is happening, you guys are back over there watching in horror as Colcoat is like 10 feet up on the wall, and it looks like he's like trying to get his hand off the wall, but he can't. It's like there's bad Velcro there, and there's nothing he can do. Meanwhile, you see what looks like somebody who comes back over towards the top of the wall, and it's two humanoid figures again. They come to the exact same spot where somebody had been, who had seen you guys from before. And you see that exact same person with somebody else beside him who looks like he wears an officer's uniform.
Can I do something?
Sure.
Can I use etherealness?
Oh, yeah, you could cast that.
And then I'll try to move up as much as I can.
Okay. You cast etherealness there, and that takes you instantly to the ethereal plane, right?
Yes.
Okay. You're suddenly in a strange, ghostly landscape where there is indeed a large rock wall in front of you. There's like wisps kind of coming off it and whatnot, and your hand is able to nudge free.
Okay, so if I move up, it's twice as much.
You're 10 feet up, like an 80-foot wall, let's say.
Have I been immobile for 6 seconds?
Probably, yeah.
So if I use all my tabaxi and dashing and everything to go up, it'd give me 120 half to 60, so I'd be close to the wall.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you want to go as high up as you can, as fast as you can?
Yeah, and then I guess I'll try to, once it wears off, I'll try to get... Can I Misty Step, like, behind the dudes and then push them off the wall?
Next turn. You've done a bunch, but yeah, potentially.
Okay.
So you are currently in the ethereal plane, so no one can actually see you. Colcoat just vanishes after casting a spell, and you're in a different plane, trying to scale the wall as fast as you can. Meanwhile, back in reality, you guys see this elite figure come over with the person, and when this happens, you guys are clearly being watched by the two of them, and you see this guy actually points down towards your group.
I swear I saw something there, sir. There's nothing there, you dipshit. God damn it. Every day there's something.
He holds up his hand over his eyes and kind of squints and looks down into the field there and stares at the group. And when that happens, you guys suddenly hear a noise that comes from your own group, and it's like a whistling noise, or like a bird's call.
Bah.
Bah, 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 bah.
Now I'd like your group to roll perception, please.
Yeesh.
The whole group? Everybody?
Oh my
Or
god,
just
I'm getting
one
all
singular?
Colcoat not included, because he's in a
out of the way.
different world.
You can see and hear the plane you came from.
Oh, okay. You could do this as well, then.
Damn.
Perception?
Perception?
Oh, that's not so good.
Oh, Jesus.
That's not my
best.
Actually.
Actually?
6, 18, 16, 16, 11, 8. 16, okay. The noise comes out of nowhere, but it seems to come from within your own ranks. And a moment later, you guys are suddenly drawn back up towards the wall, your attention grabbed up there as you guys hear what sounds like a stifled sound. And you see this man in the rather elite-looking uniform holding a hand over the other's mouth there, as he then falls down to his knees and crumples over the side of the wall with a dagger in his back.
What?
Colcoat, you're climbing up the wall when a body just whoosh, goes right past you and collapses down to the ground.
Can it like go through me?
What
While
if
I'm
he
in the plane?
murdered him because nothing was there? These guys are assholes.
Okay, well, I'm not. I'm gonna hold off on the pushing him off. Then I'll
God!
just keep climbing.
God damn it, Jimothy. It's the third time this week. That's enough.
I told you,
Enough.
third strike. Now, meanwhile, Colcoat, you're climbing up here, getting towards the top, and the group's back there, and Jem whispers to you guys, and he says, "All right, let's go." And he starts moving forward.
Okay, moving forward.
Best power token
Right?
Colcoat, you're the first to get to the top of the wall. You're in the ethereal plane when you do so, and as you peek over, you see something curious. There's a group of people kind of wandering around. There's clearly humans manning the large cannon, the catapult, and ballista beside it, as well as people going up and down the walls. It looks as though there's somebody standing quite close to you, and he's looking around expectantly.
Is that the guy that? Oh, I guess I wouldn't have seen who was up there. I would have just seen the body, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I'll. Since I don't know who he is, I'll pop out and like try to grab him.
Okay. Does this end etherealness? Do you just suddenly appear?
Oh, hold on. Let's see.
I'm not familiar with how that spell
it just ends at the end of the turn, so it would have given me like 6 seconds to like shoot up, and then I would have popped back in.
Okay. So you appear right next to the guy, and as you appear next to him there on the wall, so actually, would you be able to get to the top of the wall in that time?
I'd probably be 10 feet away from the top.
Okay. You're 10 feet down, and he notices you there. Your disguise, as slick as it is, isn't enough to fool this man's eyes at 10 feet, and he sees more than just the branch climbing the wall. And he looks at you, and he gives you a nod.
Kind of look around. Okay, and climb up the last bit, and I guess reach my hand out and see if he goes to help me.
Mm-hmm. He reaches down and grabs a hold of your hand and pulls you a bit closer. And he whispers into your ear though, instead of pulling you like right up onto the wall, and he says, "Is it time?"
Yes, it's time.
I am fully erect right now.
He gives you a nod, and then he turns around and walks off towards the siege engines.
So is there people around us other than him? Is there guys up here that I should probably like hide behind something?
You can definitely see people there, and in fact, it looks like some have already spotted you, and they look at you with a knowing glance.
Oh my god.
They're all part of our group.
Okay, well I'll as long as nobody looks like they're gonna kill me, I'll throw my branch off.
Okay.
I don't know if I need that disguise.
Alarm! Alarm!
There's a cat climbing the wall! You guys are at the bottom of the wall there when Colcoat lets his branch come down, and you guys have all gathered there. And a couple of the figures here from Jem's crew throw up these grappling hooks and whatnot, and toss them expertly towards the top of the wall. None of them miss. And
Jesus.
Jem looks over at you and he says, "Okay, Edgar, are you sure it's time to call for the bomb?"
At this point, I'm deferring entirely to your expertise. And I give him a big old grin through my... He just sees teeth. Invisibly, he just sees a big old smile.
Back in the trebuchet land over here, Earl, you suddenly feel something strange, a tingling at the back of your head, and then a voice comes into your mind, and you hear this friend of Edgar's, who's been with your group for a while, as he says, "Erlebald, it's time. Fire the bomb."
So while they've been climbing up, Earl's been he's surrounded this big ball of death in just a circle of darts, and he's constantly laying them down, and then he's gonna ask Dominic something.
Okay.
Dominic.
10-4, good buddy.
You know how
This year's rubber duck.
learned how to do all of these techniques with my darts.
No. You've mentioned once or twice, but quite honestly, I never knew the origin.
He's still just like laying them, like she's throwing them straight into the ground in like a circle fence around this thing.
Sure.
Just before you, there was, well, a great friend of mine. He would cook our meals, he'd heal us in battle. Yet, when he offered advice, I would just cast it aside. It was my own arrogance, clouded my mind. Felt that there was nothing to learn outside of the great Wilhelm way. And then he died. Just struck down by mindless, soulless frogs. It was... well, it was a defining moment. It was the first time I had really, truly lost. And through this, I learned something. There's no such thing as painless lessons. They just don't exist. Sacrifices are necessary. You can't gain anything without losing something first. Although, if you can endure that pain and walk away from it, you'll find that you now have a heart strong enough to overcome any obstacle. And he pauses there, and at that moment, he receives the message from Jim, and a grin crawls onto his face. You'll have a heart of darkness. And then he swells his magic into this ball and lets it rip.
What the fuck?
I'm just gonna like look at him and just slow clap as it's starting to do. Time to go. Just, like, grab him and just start sprinting. Also, I hope you know that Ashley is the one that coined that. So full circle.
What?
You were the one that coined that. You told me.
I'm under what?
Heart
no,
of Darkness?
I don't
Yeah,
think
Heart
it was
of Darkness.
I think
She was probably just
someone
lisping.
someone made the joke way earlier on when I first picked the character.
Yeah, it was Ashley.
Was
Oh.
it?
Yes, it was.
Well, I'll attribute it entirely to Ashley then. Earl's just, I mean, he lets the magic flow through the darts and they just run down him in like an orange sort of cascading effect through each dart until it swells around this ball. He lets it rip and then he starts running with Dominic.
Okay, so you reach forward and grab onto the lever here. There's a heavy rope pulled taut that leads to the thing, and a clutch, like a little system with some interlocking wooden pieces ready to be set off by this pull. And as you go ahead and pull the thing, you try to channel your arcane archer magic through this entire machine, just like one would channel it through a bow in hopes of sending out an empowered arrow. You've never done anything like this before, but your weapon of choice is in abundance and lays there within the bomb with a billion other different items. And as you pull on this, I need you to make for me a luck roll.
Oh my god.
Got this. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Come on. Give me the money.
Oh,
Could be worse.
it's good.
Okay. You pull down on this here, and you feel one of your arcane archer shots expend there. But that doesn't really take your attention. You don't watch downrange as a dart goes and explodes. Instead, you watch a massive wooden arm swing incredibly hefty bag, just this massive net filled with random trash that goes sailing whoosh, and just flies up into the sky and becomes like a smaller and smaller blip as it does. Now, when that happens, you intend to get over towards the walls of the fortress as fast as you can, yes?
Yeah, Earl's just running with Dominic top speed towards it now.
Okay. You're gonna use Dimension Door, is it, to get over there?
After about what feels like 120, 150 feet, yeah.
So about like two rounds of running, so we can get onto this one.
Just straight sprint.
Okay. You guys just go running and running and running. Meanwhile, over by the wall, Jem turns over towards you and says, "It's done. Well, let's get climbing then," and immediately starts scaling the rope. And everybody else starts to do the same. you hear Harold as well, who starts to climb, and it is not stealthy. Just like metal
Clink,
on
clink,
stone. And you guys start to go up. But before you even get towards the top, combat breaks out. And you guys see on the sides of the walls there what looks like soldiers caught up in battle as people draw their blades and start to begin fighting there. And you see what looks like the rush of reinforcements from further off that come towards the group. And this is before you guys have even gotten up there. Coalcoat, you're at the very top, so you actually get to observe kind of how this happens. And as the sound of your group behind you starts to come, namely Harold, and a little bit of chatter between the group as well, you see what looks like concerned people who start to make their way over towards the wall. And as they do, the group that's currently watching the siege engine turns one of them over there and impales somebody on a ballista bolt, and then combat just bursts out.
Sweet. Is there any open siege weapons that I can jump on?
There are. About 40 feet away from you lies one of these such weapons, and I'm going to erase this map, and I need everybody to please roll initiative.
Ah, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Now, I know under normal circumstances this would be the end point for some people. Do you have to peace relic?
I think for this I can stick around.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to call it in about an hour.
Nope. Oh, an hour.
In an hour? Okay.
In an hour.
Okay, I'm gonna just leave my token right here because it's off. It's literally like way up here.
Okay, we
Can I
get it.
use
You're
feral
fucking
instinct
cool.
on this.
Okay.
We're going to do the first little bit of combat here, and then we'll probably end so we're not dragging anyone too long here. But I do want to get a little bit of this in.
Does
Unfortunately,
my feral instinct work here?
What's that? Sorry?
I have feral instinct. Advantage on initiative. I can enter rage attack normally on the
Okay.
first turn when surprised. Does that work in this situation, or?
Isn't that pretty much any situation you could use that?
I think.
Yeah, you're good to go.
All right. All right, that's better. All right. So sweet. I'm
There's a
ready.
pile of siege equipment there. There's some random, like, little barrels and things like that here and there. A little set of crates. And then there's the actual drop-off that happens right here. And this goes off towards the other ends of the star there.
Is there a bridge too?
There is indeed on this side that goes straight ahead, right up towards the building. So this space here is like a straight fall down like 60 or 80 feet.
No.
No.
So that looks about right. Position yourselves around here randomly, and Coalcoat, you'll be up here. So you guys are still climbing up. Initiative has been rolled. Somebody got a nat 1. Okay, Tidge, you will still be on 1 instead of 0, because 0 will always be your NPCs. Right there. And then I'm going to go ahead and roll and see our bad guys get. Oh wait, I'll do that on table here. Holy fuck you guys.
So close.
Oh, okay. Edgar got a 19 as well. So there are a set of mercenaries, which I'll be using with these. And then there are what looks to be demons.
Demons, all of them. All of them are demons.
It's like a discount Sean Connery.
Sean Connery. I have a peep. Smoking my peep.
What?
He says that in one of the I think it's oh god, it's the one on with the train and the whodunit
Okay.
and then
It is your turn first, Annabelle. With your amazing initiative, there are a set of ropes that dangle off the side of the building right here.
look at all these angry radishes.
So you can get onto that square with it. That square has a rope as well that goes down, and there's one over here.
So, just to clarify, sorry, Ash, I don't mean to stop your turn for a second, but do we know if there are any gem allies in this wing, or are they all enemies now?
It looks like they're fighting amongst each other. Not that you would really see too much of that from the bottom here, but you did see a clip of it. It looked like they were fighting each other.
But, okay, so they're like not every single one of these guys is not coming after me, right?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
In fact, it looks like most of them are locked in combat.
Okay, we just can't tell which is which yet.
Yeah. So, Annabelle, you're at the bottom of the wall there. I would say you've just grabbed a hold of the rope, and there's 80 feet left of it to climb. What do you want to do?
Well, I'd like to dash up the rope.
Okay.
So now I've only got about 2.
No. I'll say you can scale the rope at half speed, like every normal person would. Dashing, of course, will make up for some of that. Or you could make an acrobatics check to try and do it all flashy-like, but if you fail, you'll fall to the ground.
We have that problem where I fall all the time, so let's just not.
But it's the final mission.
But it's a you realize that I roll that once every other roll.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay, so half my movement is
Very
try
good.
go 30 feet up the rope.
What, do you want me to go 45?
Right.
Yes.
Can you dash twice in a turn? I don't think
I
so.
don't.
You can if you're a thief or whatever. If you're a rogue, a
Are you-
rouge.
I thought it only meant that you could burn a bonus to dash rather than an action. I didn't think
You can do
could-
both.
Oh, can you?
You can double dash, yeah.
Okay.
Is that what
Now
you're doing then?
Mario Kart.
Pretty quick. Up the
Okay.
rope.
So you
45.
spend all the actions and such on your turn, just scaling this, and you end up on the top here, next to Kulcoat, who looks like he's watching in bewilderment as people engage in combat with one another.
Oh, hello. There's some fighting going on.
Aye. Looks like a shite show.
I think we should maybe go for the big demons in the back. Let these guys fight amongst themselves.
Okie dokie, artichoke. Lead the way.
Okay. After your turn there, it goes over towards you, Erlebald. What do you want to do?
So, are we...
You're in the field with Dominic right now, huffing it. And I would say that you guys are running fast enough here that you've gotten to the point where you can use the scroll to jump in here. So I will allow you to tactical insert wherever you want on this arm. Or potentially
Alright.
elsewhere. Basically choose a spot on the map and you and Dominic can bleep there immediately.
Earl takes out 2 darts in his right hand, 1 dart in his left, and just gets ready for Dominic to port us in.
No, you need to have like a mouthful of them, just like the mental gen picture. Okay, Dominic, are you ready? Earl looks at you. He's got darts on every appendage.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Okay.
dimension door us in.
Where do you drop the 2 of you, Erlebald?
Or he's the one that's controlling it, right?
Oh, does he have the
Yeah.
spell?
Yeah, so we're
I
not
have
using the
spell.
scroll, we're just
Okay.
using a spell slot.
So you just get ready to go with Dominic there. And Edgar, it's your turn. What do you want to do?
How far down am I?
You are at the very bottom. It seems the ones that have gotten to the top first would be Jem and his crew. So you're at the bottom there with these people here. Actually, Harold's like on the wall.
Okay.
He's going.
I would dash then and spend 60 feet to climb all as far up as I can.
Okay. So you move at half speed. So how much rope would be left? It's 80 rope.
So I could only a dash would be 60 feet, halved would be 30 feet out of the.
Yep. Okay, so keep track of how much rope you've got left. Then is that your turn?
Will do. It is, and just FYI, guys, I'm not feeling well tonight. I'm gonna come back, but I do need to run to the washroom real quick.
Okay.
He has
I'll
to
be
poop
back.
his pants.
Just at me in Discord when it's my turn. I'll try to come back.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Next up is our enemies here, and you guys see that there are a pair of guards over here by the door, and the door opens up, and what looks like a small brigade starts just come running out through the doors here towards you all. And you see that there's a pair of demons with them, and there's also something else. What looks like a large hellhound with the group.
Do you guys in Cat Red Robotics remember that the only other time we've ran into the hellhound? When we just got dicked on by frogs and we had to hide in the bushes because it was almost about to kill us.
That was a bad time.
I think I skipped that session because the death of Gaius was pretty fresh.
Oh yeah. It's full circle.
Things quickly devolve here, and the different forces seem to kind of clump up into little spheres of battle and combat, and the demons seem to pay little mind to that, running past these combat zones and coming up closer towards all of you. And each one of them seems to have the power of fire in their hands and holds out a fist which summons up a little ball of flame and then hurls it towards different members over here. And let's see. It looks like most of them are going for Colcoat, with one going for Annabelle. Colcoat does a 12 or 25 hit?
25 does hit.
Okay. A ball of flame strikes you, and the ball of flame is strong enough that it nearly causes the grappling hook behind you to get dislodged there. And I'd like you to actually make a luck roll to see if it goes flying off the side or if it stays hooked in. Okay,
Nice.
so you're good there. You do, however, take some damage, and you take... That's not a good one. You take 23 damage.
Thanks.
From a blast of flame. And Annabelle, one attacks you. Does a...
Did we roll initiative? I'm sorry. Okay, so this is just leftover from last session. I must have just not heard you because I didn't roll.
Oh, derp. Well, that's where you are
My
now.
bad. Oh, okay, that works.
Does a 22 hit you?
I would think so.
Okay. You take a couple of damages.
I take a wee bit of damage.
You take 21 points of damage.
Oh, I can half that, right? Because I got resist the fire damage.
Yes, it's all fire damage, yep.
No!
And I'd like you to roll luck, please.
The fuck? Okay. So.
Oh, that's not so good. The grappling hook behind you is undone, and you hear the sound of Sir Harrington fall back and land on the ground here.
Did he die?
No.
'Cause I heard that. Okay, so you said 20, what? 21?
21, yeah. So you can have that down to 10. And then after that, it's your turn, Dominic. You have the scroll in hand. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do?
Oh wait, who actually does have the scroll? Because I have my...
Earl seems to think you're the one casting Dimension Door with the scroll.
I have the scroll.
Oh
You
wait.
have the scroll? I'm using my own spell slot.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I thought you were using your own spell slot.
Gotcha.
Yep,
That's
I
my
am.
bad.
I was like, do I suddenly
And-
have it? Because that'd be great to not use the spell slot. I will cast it, place us...
I
right
delayed
over-
my turn after Dominic, right? Because I'm just like waiting for him to
Yeah, you
send
can
it
do
up.
that.
Alright, wonderful.
Oh yeah, and I'll cast it and send us right onto the tip.
Okay, place yourselves where you want to be. You have to be touching.
The tips have to be touching.
Yep.
Oh, my poor darts. It's so far.
Okay. Boop. You can see this, Kalik, down from the bottom of the wall, what looks like a doorway of nothingness, and then suddenly Earl and Dominic arrive, stepping through from it. The doorway collapses. And Dominic, you still have all of your movement.
I'm just gonna slightly rush past Earl.
Where are you going, Earl? Sit your ass down.
Oh, I was trying to be right there,
No, I'm
right
just
next
kidding.
to him, but okay.
I assume this is all chaos, and I don't know what's going on, so I'm gonna shimmy right beside these barrels. Have my bow summoned on my back, but like currently holding a dart that or not a dart, a dagger that recently got to re-equip because I can carry shit.
Very good.
Have that as I'm like have my back and crouch down low.
Okay.
Come up at me. That's gonna be my turn.
Alright. Earlbald, it's your turn next. What do you want to do?
Earl is going to sprint up 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
As you're
up
running
right-
forward, you think that you see something odd. In the upper right corner of your vision, what looks to be a hurtling black ball goes sailing through the dark gray sky. It catches there in the early morning. Pieces of it, semi-shiny. They must be the random cutlery and ball bearings from within. It even leaves what looks like a trail behind it, like a comet hurtling through space. What must be random metallic pieces that the net could not hold, just trailing behind it in a shimmery sparkle.
Earl like takes a moment to be amazed by this. And then immediately snaps back into action, throwing 3 darts at this demon right here.
Okay.
Snaps back to reality.
He's also going to bonus action
Mom spaghetti.
use the Guardian of Nature on himself.
Ah, okay.
So to become a great tree.
You step right next to Colcoat and are inspired. And turn into a tree yourself.
And then just throw out these dart attacks. Give me 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
It's like...
Are these sharpshooter or regular?
I mean, of course, sharpshooter.
Okay.
I need to figure out... Seem to have misplaced one of my die. I'll just use these weird beige ones. They just need to be color-coded, so... Okay.
Bless you. Thanks.
Alright, so that is a...
Oh, you're action surging?
No, that's just... Oh wait, yes, I am action surging, so I'm gonna throw another dart on top of this.
Right.
My bad, because I just used my bonus action. So that is... 23. Does that hit?
23 hits.
Okay, and then I got a nat 20 on one of them.
Yep.
And then I'm gonna throw one more set of darts.
Are these all with advantage?
Yes, because I'm a great tree.
Right. It doesn't make any sense, but you are a tree.
I don't fucking get it either. Does a 19 hit?
Yes, 19 hits as well.
Oh, nice. Okay. So that is an amount of things I have to roll.
Did every single one of those hit?
Yes.
And not 20? Oh my god.
Yes.
Outstanding.
Remember when I said Earl fucking hurts?
Yeah, I can see that.
Especially when I'm a fucking tree, boys. Oh yeah. So that was 4 attacks plus a crit, so we need one more d4.
What type of darts are these, by the way?
These are the I didn't specify that they were keened, so I'm just gonna say they're regular darts.
Okay.
So that is 73 points of damage.
73.
Oh my god.
Fuck.
Action surge gone.
The darts,
That is my entire hit point pool.
as you run up here, you cast the spell, and the scroll disappears. And all of a sudden, your skin takes on a sort of brownish and barky look to it, and little leaves just jut out from random spaces between your armor. And as you grab your darts and hurtle them, you find that the wisdom of the Ents seems to guide them downrange, and you hit every single one. And you watch in horror as the darts strike this thing, and the demon seems to recoil back in pain. But the darts, after striking the surface, are pulled in, like sucked into the body, the same way that something would just fall through into like a viscous soup and just too dense, pull past the surface. And the darts are just absorbed there, and the demon turns and makes eye contact with you.
Ew.
He just pulls out more darts while he's making eye contact with this thing in turn.
Okay. At that point, I need a luck roll, because right now, there is a hurtling ball of death going through the sky, and as Earl's turn finishes here, it has been exactly long enough that it is about to make contact. And as it's coming down, finishing its arc, I need to know whether or not that ticker mechanism that you made, Kalik, is going to set it off at the right time. So I want you to roll luck, and if it's 1 to 5, then it never goes off, and the explosion never happens. If it gets up to a 15, then it'll go off mid-air, and if it's higher than that, it'll go off when it hits and impacts with the ground.
Alright. Do you want me to roll or somebody else?
Doesn't matter to me.
You got this.
That was a 6.
Okay.
At least it goes off!
You guys all notice this, and the only exception would be the people down on the ground who don't get to see this glorious sight. But for anybody who's like mostly up a rope or already up on here, Colcoat and Annie, you see this. There's this hurtling ball flying there with these trailing sparkles behind it of metallic color and sheen. And as the ball kind of comes down, spontaneously out of nowhere, it just explodes in a fireball. And as it does so, this cone opens up of just random miscellaneous shrapnel that rains down in a cloud and just peppers down. And because of where you guys are, there's a very large building here. It's like 4 stories tall, so you can't actually see what happens. But on the other side of the building, you just hear agony and scream and explosions.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And it is your turn, Kalik.
I will,
Shovel some Tic Tacs in your mouth.
That's what I got those.
Is that what that was?
It's Trident Vibes Gum.
Okay.
Ooh.
I will, for my action,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna cast Death Ward on myself.
Okay.
And I'm going to make my way towards this rope.
Okay. Go ahead and run to it. This is the bottom point of it. So you've now grabbed a hold of the rope.
I'll wait here.
Mm-hmm.
Is Sir Bondex on the ground?
Yep, he's right next to you.
I will. Since I don't have much more movement, I'm gonna wait and let one person that can get higher up on the rope,
Sure.
pass me. And I'll
Okay.
wait there.
Is that the turn?
That's my turn.
From the bottom of the wall, you can hear the absolute pandemonium, and you know that the bomb has gone off, and that your machine, your little device, or not device, but just the thing with the crammed bullets and everything, must have worked and gone off. Meanwhile, Cocoat, you're at the top
Just
here.
giggling.
And you just saw this thing go off. And also, Earl's next to you, and he's a tree.
Oh, darn, we didn't get to see the impact. Ah, well.
Coat's so evil now. I want to see them die.
So, what was this thing right here?
That's a catapult. There's a ballista here, and that's a cannon.
I'm gonna. Is it, or does it look like the ballista's loaded, or it needs to be loaded?
It looks like it's been fired, but the catapult and the cannon, well, you can't tell the cannon, but the catapult's actually loaded. It faces off the wall towards the forest.
Okay, well, can't wait with that. Bonus action for force damage, and I will take 2 shots.
Okay.
Hit. 20 and a 16.
A 20 and a 16?
It's higher.
They both hit.
Oh, doesn't matter. Alright. So, 1, 2. First one is... God. Big damage. 7 force damage.
Okay.
And the next one is... Oh, shit. That's 20.
That's a little better.
10. 10 piercing. I'm using silver bullets, if that helps.
Okay. The 2 shots cause the demon to recoil back, but you watch as blood splatters all over the place, but the creature continues moving, and what's worse, the wounds that you inflict on it, the gaping holes from the shots, are quickly sealed up, and the bullets are sucked into the demon's flesh.
I think they're invincible. This is not good.
Cold Coat, do you still have the silver?
What? Silver bullets? Yes, that's what I'm using.
Shit.
I hit them with force damage too. Oh no. That's my turn. Yeah, the first one was force.
Arillo, it is your turn.
Or
You're at the
Alright.
bottom of the wall.
How high is the wall again?
80 feet up.
Alright, I'm gonna start climbing the wall.
Okay. How much move speed do you have?
I have 30, I believe. Let me just make sure.
I think you get more.
Yeah.
Am I crazy?
I have 40.
40.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can move half of that normally because you're climbing. So you're 20 feet up. Is that everything that you're going to do this turn?
I'll dash the rest of the way up.
Okay, so that's another 40. Or sorry, not another, but a total of 40. So you're halfway up the rope. So you've almost made it. Is that your turn?
Wait, the wall is...
80
Oh,
feet.
dash is only 20 feet, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that your turn?
Yep.
Okay.
So wait. I only have 40 feet left to go. Okay. Never mind. We're good.
Mackinac,
Oh, wait,
you are
what?
up. And curiously, you're kind of far from the group. Is that where you were?
I don't recall.
Okay. I would say you're probably within the group over here somewhere.
Works for me. I will activate my Titan Furnace and start climbing the rope.
Okay.
I have
So it's-
80 feet of movement, so...
Oh, did we get the ring of cold resistance from Mackinac? I forget.
I don't know. If somebody
Someone
did,
was supposed to keep track of that.
I don't know
Or
if you
it's
ended
on
up
the
buying
card.
that one in the end.
Well, it would be on the card, right?
One would hope.
No, I don't
no,
think
we
we
didn't
did.
because it was.
We
the
didn't think we'd
excuse
come across
was-
cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot. Okay.
Mackinac, you have 80 feet, so that'll move you 40 on the rope instead.
Okay.
So you are halfway up, what, this rope?
I guess so, yeah.
Okay, so you're halfway up there. And then after that, it is your turn, Tidge. What do you want to do?
Are both ropes occupied at this moment?
Yes. Arillo is
They
on
are.
one of them, as well as, let's see here. Edgar's on that one too,
Yeah.
and then
Caleb's
Mackinac is
on
on one.
I'm not on one. I'm at the
Oh.
bottom. I didn't have much movement, so I'm letting people go past me.
Gotcha. Can I see anything from down here?
You see what looks like a little bit of combat up there. You could probably see like the first 1 or 2 hexagons. You're also invis, I believe. Some of you guys are still
No,
hidden.
I could only have done 3 people, so
Oh, okay.
I wasn't invisible, and I wasn't rolling as invisible either.
Okay.
Well, I guess I'll make my way to this rope and start climbing up it then.
Okay. How much movement do you have?
25, so it's like
halved.
10 to get there.
So keep in mind then that you're like maybe 10 feet up the rope.
Okay.
And you got another 70 to go. After that, it turns to the rest, and combat begins between the, well, what seems to be the people fighting themselves here. I would like somebody to roll luck to see how things are going for you guys.
Who has it?
I got them.
Perfectly average. Okay.
Hey.
Cutting back and forth, the different mercenaries do battle with one another. Sometimes it's a 2-on-1, other times they're even matched. Over by the siege weapons, it looks like there are people trying to operate them while others are trying to wrestle them from their hands. Every now and then one is cut down and falls to the ground, but the battle is still very much in its beginning. So you lose a couple here. But it's still going, and let's see, we're going to have our friendly NPCs. A large mechanical spider suddenly appears next to a demon and thrusts his arm through his chest.
Holy shit.
And Harold does a little bit of damage to it.
Oh, that's what that... Okay.
You thought you had to fight that. You're like, guys, we can't handle an invisible spider monster.
Abort mission.
Okay, this guy takes 18 damage. And then over here, there's a poof of black smoke that suddenly erupts, and the 3 people from Jem's group, including Jem, disappear. And everybody roll initiative, please.
I'm probably gonna have to call it here the illusion.
Okay. How about we get you guys situated on the board there, and we'll call it here for the night once it's all set up for the next round.
100% down.
I DC'd.
Okay. We can probably roll for you. Oh, fuck, I got a 3? Dude.
I'm actually coming back under the table now.
Okay. So it's all set up. As one would expect, Annie is at 1 billion.
A billion! 1 million billion billion.
Billion.
Has everybody rolled initiative?
Yes, and I played myself on.
Okay. Arillo, have you?
What's that? I just got back in. I just got
Just asking you how the weather is over there.
Oh, it's snowy.
Have you rolled initiative?
No, I just got on the table.
Okay, I was just asking if you made it in yet or anything.
Oh.
Simmer.
Yeah, well, while you're doing that, how's the weather?
Snowy.
Oh, it's fucking great.
Nah, it's
People are
not.
dying. You know.
Okay. Perfect. We will leave it there. You guys are all in the right spots. The battle will continue when we come back. It'll be Annabelle's turn first, on through the rest. You have successfully managed to do quite a bit this session, guys. I have to give it to you. There have been... I'll table talk, say one group made it in very sneaky, using the back door. Another one did like a little aerial paratrooper thing coming in and flew in and got onto the roof and then snuck in. And you guys are just battling it out in the middle of the open after having detonated a giant bomb over the top of the camp and everyone defenseless down in the tents. So, well done. Awesome. We'll pick it up next week on Tuesday and see where it goes from there. So I'll see you guys then. Adios.
See you later.
See ya.
Good night, guys.
Adios.
Take care.
Again, thanks for running it for us, Solution. It's been a
Yes.
blast. It's been such a fun
Awesome.
campaign.
No problem, man.
Be back later. Bye.
Save the table. Everyone's level 8, right?
Can I flip it?
Yeah.
What
What's
does
that?
What does that do? You saved it already, right?
Are we level 9 because the nuke went off?
I just saved the table, yeah, so everything will be where it is when we come back.
So if I flipped it,
Flip the table.
what happens when I push that button?
It
I
will
don't
tell
think
you
you're
that you
allowed.
can't, because I've disabled table flipping.
Thank God.
But if you want to see what it looks like, I could press it. Cause
Yeah, do it.
Oh
my God!
Shit.
Oh my God.
It's one way to end a campaign.
they all die.
I missed something.
The ritual went off.
Yeah, that's
Hashtag janked. Holy shit.
That's crazy.
Peace
Thank you
out,
for
stream.
That was interesting.